Chapter 673. Qin Feng and Hua Yan's hearts skipped a beat when they heard Li Tao said he already had a Prince Charming in his heart. You're a transvestite. How can a man like another man? You're disgusting. Hua Yan was even angrier now. She recalled Li Tao's flirtatious and attentive behavior toward Qin Feng in Feng Yun Fun City. Hua Yan had a feeling that Qin Feng was most likely the Prince Charming in Li Tao's heart. Qin Feng had the same thought. He suddenly realized how difficult it was to be a charming man. Men, women, young and old were attracted to him. What are you talking about? I'll just pretend that I don't understand. Hua Yan blurted out the truth in a fit of anger. Li Tao was as shy as a little girl who just had her first awakening of love. He even twirled his hair with his fingers. Your voice sounds familiar. I think I've heard it somewhere before. Oh, by the way, are you the big-breasted girl in Feng Yun Fun City? Li Tao looked at Hua Yan's cat lady mask as if he suddenly remembered something. Then, he looked at Hua Yan's voluptuous breasts and nodded. He murmured to himself, "That should be it. She's that magnificent." Hua Yan was infuriated by Li Tao. Her voluptuous breasts surged even more violently as if she was protesting. However, Li Tao seemed to be uninterested in this thing. He simply glanced at her, and then moved his eyes away. You've mistaken me for someone else. I don't know a trap like you. Hua Yan glared at Li Tao. The more Li Tao listened, the more he felt that Hua Yan sounded like him. Before Li Tao could continue, Qin Feng lowered his voice and said, Little brother, have you been to Feng Yun Fun City recently? And you've seen my girlfriend? I've been to Feng Yun Fun City, but I don't know if your girlfriend is the big-breasted girl I met. My Prince Charming saved me there. Oh. I haven't seen my Prince Charming for almost 2 months. I miss him so much. As Li Tao spoke, he started to count the time with his fingers. Seeing this, Hua Yan pinched Qin Feng's waist fiercely. This time, the two of them were sure that Qin Feng was the Prince Charming in Li Tao's heart. Cough, cough. Qin Feng almost vomited blood. He coughed for a while and then said, Don't tell me your Prince Charming is called Qin Feng? You know him? Do you know where he is? Take me to see him. Once Li Tao heard the 2 words, Qin Feng, it was as if he was possessed. He grabbed Qin Feng's arm and jumped around. He was as happy as a little girl who got a lollipop. Bai Yun, Rin Xiaoyao, and Wen Yiming had already distanced themselves from Qin Feng. They were too embarrassed to reveal that they knew Azure Wolf. Qin Feng angrily swatted Li Tao's hand away and almost gave the brat another kick. The reason why Qin Feng told Li Tao so much was because he wanted to clarify something. Li Tao used to be Lu Bingbing's subordinate, an ordinary person. When Qin Feng saved Li Tao in Feng Yun Fun City, he didn't cultivate. However, Li Tao had become a Stage 5 energy expert in just a month. His speed was so fast that Qin Feng wouldn't be able to catch up to Li Tao if he didn't activate the Sacred Azure Battle Armor's hyper-intuition. An ordinary person breaking through to Stage 5 energy in a little more than a month? This speed put Qin Feng to shame. Don't touch me. Otherwise, I won't take you to see Qin Feng, Qin Feng said in a low voice. Li Tao immediately quieted down. He blinked his eyes and looked at Qin Feng pitifully. Qin Feng almost vomited blood again. I'll be quiet. You can't lie to me. You have to take me to see Qin Feng Appa, Li Tao said in a soft voice. Qin Feng forcefully suppressed the boiling blood in his body and said in a cold voice, If you want me to take you to see Qin Feng, you have to answer a few questions. Ask away. Li Tao agreed without hesitation. I'm quite familiar with Qin Feng. I think I heard him mention you. Are you Li Tao? Yeah. Did he really mention me in front of you? Ha! I'm really happy. What did he say about me in front of you? Bang! Qin Feng couldn't take it anymore. He kicked Li Tao's thigh, and Li Tao almost knelt on the ground. Can't you fucking speak properly? Can you? Wah, if you want to speak properly, why did you kick me? You really don't know how to be tender and protective of the fairer sex? Li Tao clenched his large fists and spun them around his eyes. Qin Feng immediately felt like he was hit by 100,000 tons of force. You're Li Tao. You used to be a normal police officer, right? How did you suddenly become a martial artist? What level are you at now? How did you cultivate? When Qin Feng got down to business, Li Tao returned to normal. It's a long story, so I'll make it short. I accidentally obtained a secret manual, and I cultivated according to it. In the end, I leveled up like a rocket, and I'm now a level 4 devil cultivator. Qin Feng's face was blank. He didn't think that Li Tao would become a demon cultivator. What secret manual did this guy pick up? He was even more heaven-defying than the system. What's the name of your secret manual? Qin Feng continued to ask. I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to tell anyone else. This secret manual should be very precious. If too many people know, I'll be in trouble. Li Tao wasn't stupid. He was already on guard. Don't worry, Qin Feng and I are good friends. I won't betray you, Qin Feng said with a twitch of his mouth. Once he heard the two words, Qin Feng, Li Tao acted like he was possessed. His vigilance disappeared. He stuck close to Qin Feng's ear and said, The secret manual I cultivate is called the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book. It's a demon cultivator's secret manual. It's very powerful. Do you want to learn it? Since you're my male god's good friend, I can share it with you. Seeing Qin Feng and Li Tao stick their faces to each other intimately, Hua Yan was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Qin Feng was struck by a bolt of lightning. He felt unwell. Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book? Wasn't that the secret manual he found in the sealed cave? Little pig, what the hell is that Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book? Is it really that powerful? Qin Feng communicated with Little Pig telepathically. Master, the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book is very powerful. It and the Demon Lord's Treasure Book you obtained from the mission are called the Demon Race's Holy Book. The demon cultivators have fought for these two Earth-rank secret manuals for tens of thousands of years. Now, no one knows where these two manuals are. They've been lost for a long time. Rumor has it that as long as you obtain one of the demon race's grand ceremonies, you can dominate the demon race and become the demon lord. Little Pig explained. Qin Feng was dumbfounded. Is it really that exaggerated? Are you talking about a myth or a real story? Little Pig shook its head and said, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what the system says. Master, you can tell if it's real or not. Qin Feng still believed in the system's information. The system was so mysterious that Qin Feng couldn't see the tip of its iceberg. Thinking about the two demon races' grand ceremonies in his hands, Qin Feng was very excited. Master, don't think too much. You probably got the second half of the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book. Li Tao got the first half. You can't cultivate it with only the first half. Also, I don't recommend Master to cultivate the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book. If you want to cultivate it, you should choose the Demon Lord's Treasure Book. Is the Demon Lord's Treasure Book more powerful than the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book? Qin Feng asked. That's not it. After cultivating the two secret manuals, one's strength is about the same. It's just that the Demon Lord's Treasure Book doesn't have any side effects. Cultivating the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book will have side effects. Qin Feng was startled. He seemed to have guessed something, but he still asked, What side effects? Little Pig revealed a naughty smile and said, Master, you know the Sunflower Treasured Book, right? The Little Chrysanthemum Treasured Book is the original version of the Sunflower Treasured Book. It was just that it was slowly modified and became the Sunflower Treasured Book. Hearing the Sunflower Treasure Book, Qin Feng's chrysanthemum tightened. 8 big words appeared in his mind. To cultivate this technique, one must first castrate oneself. Qin Feng couldn't help but look at Li Tao's pants. He felt a chill in his heart. Hee. Master, actually, the original version of the Little Sunflower Treasure Book doesn't require one to castrate oneself. However, its side effect is that it causes the cultivator to hallucinate about their gender. Qin Feng's entire body trembled. This wasn't as good as castrating oneself. Young hero, I've told you everything you wanted to know. When will you take me to see Adonis? Qin Feng was roused by Li Tao's voice. He looked at Li Tao again and suddenly felt that this person was quite pitiful. Ahem. We'll talk about it when we have time. As Qin Feng spoke, he took 2 steps back. He didn't dare to get too close to Li Tao. Li Tao hurriedly chased after him. He pulled Qin Feng and said, "Handsome, don't dismiss me like this. How about I tell you the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book's secret manual? Listen carefully, fuck, hurry and shut up. Don't ever read it. Otherwise, I'll never take you to see Adonis." Qin Feng was so frightened that he hastily interrupted Li Tao. Right now, he was very glad that he found the 2nd volume of the secret technique in the cave. If it was the 1st volume, Qin Feng would have foolishly cultivated it, and the consequences would have been unimaginable. Okay, then I won't read it. This is a treasure. I won't let others learn it even if they want it. I only shared it with you because you're good friends with Adonis. Are you sure you don't want to learn it? Li Tao looked at Qin Feng with a smug expression. Qin Feng didn't want to learn it. He didn't want to become like Li Tao. How would Qin Feng's women live? Live? I don't want to learn it. Don't bother me anymore. Otherwise, I won't take you to see Adonis. Qin Feng didn't want to talk to Li Tao anymore. When Li Tao saw that Qin Feng was determined not to learn it, he harumphed arrogantly. He even looked at Qin Feng as if he was looking at an idiot. Time passed quickly. The small round table went up and down a few times. This time, it was Qin Feng's and the others' turn. The sturdy man from the 10,000-fold sect, who should have lined up earlier, was still standing to the side. He didn't dare to leave before Qin Feng. "Senior Bai Yun, Yao Yao, let's go together." Qin Feng looked at Bai Yun and Rin Xiaoyao. The 2 of them also walked onto the small round table. Including the 4 people on Qin Feng's side, there were already 6 people. The old Taoist nun from the Ame sect also jumped onto the stage. Only 3 people were left. The 10 people stood on the small round table and slowly ascended towards the cave above. 10 minutes later, everyone returned to the top. The place they arrived at was the circular hall that Qin Feng and the others discovered. At that time, everyone fell from here. This time, Qin Feng suddenly realized that this cave was circular. When Qin Feng and the others fell in, they kept walking upstream. In reality, they walked in a circle and finally returned to the place where they fell. However, there was a rock between the starting point and the ending point of the cave, so no one could figure out the structure. "Newcomers, line up here. If you don't want to die, then obediently listen to me. Otherwise, you'll end up like those corpses on the ground." Just as Qin Feng's group of 10 came up, they heard a threat coming from the circular hall. Everyone looked towards the hall and saw a man and a woman standing in the hall. They were Golden Spear and Qin Er Nyang. Chapter 674. Everyone was dumbfounded by Golden Spear and Qin Er Nyang. Apart from Qin Feng and a few others, no one knew who Golden Spear and Qin Er Nyang were. The hall was filled with corpses and blood. It was as horrifying and bloody as hell. "Who are you? What do you want?" A short man in the crowd was the first to jump off the platform. He glared at Golden Spear with a displeased expression. "Don't talk so much nonsense. Stand properly over there and hand over all the treasures you're hiding. Otherwise, you'll die." Golden Spear was even more arrogant as he glared at the short man with an ice-cold expression. Everyone now understood that the Golden Spear and the charming and sexy woman were robbing in the hall. These 2 people were really bold. They dared to rob in broad daylight? "Brat, you want to rob people? You're courting death." After the short man understood, he suddenly jumped up. He had 2 scimitars on his waist. With a leap, he arrived in front of Golden Spear. Then, he pulled out his hands and 2 rays of cold light shot out. "Humph! You're just a stage 4 energy trash. You're overestimating yourself." Golden Spear didn't move an inch. With a contemptuous look on his face, he lightly struck out with his palm. The air was filled with the sound of wind breaking. The strength of a stage 7 inner chi expert was displayed. The short man was so scared that his eyeballs almost popped out. He wanted to escape, but it was too late. Bang! A muffled sound came from the short man's chest. Blood splattered everywhere. Golden Spear's palm directly pierced through the short man's chest, leaving a fist-sized bloody hole. His heart had long been ruptured. It was a horrifying sight. Hiss! Many people gasped when they saw this bloody scene. Apart from the short man, there were many others in the crowd who were also ready to make a move. It was just that the short man was a step faster. But now, everyone rejoiced that the short man was a step faster. Otherwise, they would be the ones lying in a pool of blood. Is there anyone else who's not convinced? Come out and accept your death. I'll kill to my heart's content. Golden Spear stood at the entrance with his hands clasped behind his back. He looked like he was asking for a beating. However, no one was as strong as him, so they could only swallow their anger. When Qin Feng and the others saw Golden Spear and Chen Ernyang, their expressions were different. On the way up, Qin Feng had already discussed Chen Ernyang with White Cloud. At first, Qin Feng suspected that White Cloud and Chen Ernyang were in cahoots. After all, Chen Ernyang was someone White Cloud found. However, after communicating with each other, it was confirmed that they were not in cahoots. White Cloud just needed someone who understood formations, so Chen Ernyang automatically signed up to join the exploration team. Damn fatty, why are you still standing there like an idiot? Hurry up and hand over all the treasures you found down there, or I'll blow your head off with one punch. The Golden Spear killed one to serve as a warning to the others. The others were shocked. The person standing at the very front was the brawny man from the 10,000-fold sect. His muscles were trembling. He was, after all, a stage 7 external expert. In the past, he was the one who screamed at others, but today, he had suffered so many setbacks. He was about to die of depression. The sturdy man hesitated for a moment, but still decided to hand over the treasure he found. This was because the Golden Spear was already very strong, and there was a woman standing not far away. Judging from the woman's aura, she was clearly an expert. Bang! The sturdy man removed the storage pouch from his waist and was about to hand it over when Li Tao, who was standing behind him, suddenly slapped his arm. The sturdy man's fist immediately swung towards the Golden Spear and suddenly accelerated. Damn it, you dare to sneak attack me? I'll chop you into 8 pieces. The Golden Spear's reaction was extremely fast. As he roared, he had already dodged the sturdy man's fist. That sturdy man from the 10,000-fold sect felt extremely sullen in his heart. He didn't want to throw that punch, it was Li Tao's dirty trick. But now he couldn't quibble, because Golden Spear's palm slapped towards him. Rumble! The sturdy man did not dodge. He was an external expert, and his advantage lay in close combat. The two's fist and palm collided, causing a loud sound. The air around them surged, and a few people almost fell from the small round platform back into the cave below. The Golden Spear had already been sent flying and fell to the ground in a sorry state. The sturdy man from the 10,000-fold sect stood in place without moving, but his feet had sunk into the ground, leaving 2 deep footprints. This damn fatty is a physical cultivator. I was too careless. The Golden Spear angrily glared at the sturdy man. The sturdy man's punch contained a force of nearly 900 kilograms. If Golden Spear did not protect his body in time, he would have been smashed into meat paste. The sturdy man did not expect Golden Spear to be so weak. He could tell that Golden Spear and Qin Feng were both stage 7 inner chi, but he felt that there was a huge gap between them. Even a stage 7 inner chi expert like Golden Spear would be sent flying by Qin Feng with a single slap. Humph! How dare you show off in front of me after learning some lousy martial arts? I'll stomp you to death! The sturdy man roared, causing the entire round hall to tremble. He had just punched out with confidence, so he leaped up and stomped on the Golden Spear on the ground. Chen Ernyang, save me! Crackle! As soon as the Golden Spear's voice fell, A white light appeared in midair. Qin Ernyang brandished her long whip, and layers of whip shadows fell on the sturdy man's body. Bang! 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 This was the difference between physical and spiritual techniques. Physical cultivators focused on cultivating their inner force and body. They could create an impenetrable defense and immense strength. However, this kind of inner force could only be unleashed once, and the next attack would require the user to circulate his inner force again. On the other hand, an inner chi cultivator could unleash multiple attacks at once. Since they were using their inner chi, they could sustain their attacks for a long time. In an instant, dozens of whip shadows landed on the sturdy man's body, and the sound of metal striking metal rang out. The sturdy man grimaced in pain, and his burly body retreated step by step. Every time he took a step back, a deep footprint would appear on the ground. This showed that Qin Ernyang's attack was very powerful. Bitch, you framed my sex disciple and killed him on the cliff of the sky pit. I'll avenge my disciple by taking your cheap life. Seeing that the sturdy man from the 10,000-layer sect was at a disadvantage, a silhouette flashed through the crowd and appeared in midair. Swish! 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 Abyss Annihilation waved the horsetail whisk in her hand lightly. Another explosive aura rose in the hall. The air condensed and turned into a sharp blade that shot towards Qin Ernyang. It was somewhat similar to Qin Feng's wind blade skill. Damn Taoist nun, since you didn't die from the fall, I'll kill you with my own hands and let you have a good time. Golden Spear had recovered most of his strength. He suddenly pounced on Abyss Annihilation, and his palms turned into wind palms. Bang! 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 Loud noises resounded in the circular hall. Gravel rolled down from the cliff, and the ground trembled slightly. The fight was very intense. It was a fight between a Stage 7 inner chi expert and a Stage 7 external chi expert. Many people were stunned by the scene. Green Wolf, let's go. That Qin Ernyang and Golden Spear are not good people. I want to kill Golden Spear with my own hands. Hua Yan had been teased by Golden Spear several times today, so she hated Golden Spear. Qin Feng pulled Hua Yan into his arms and whispered into her ear. Don't move. It's not that simple. Let's wait and see. When White Cloud makes his move, we'll follow him. The anger on Hua Yan's face disappeared immediately. She seemed to have figured out something was wrong. Hua Yan had become Qin Feng's woman not long ago, so she didn't mind being held intimately by Qin Feng. She whispered into Qin Feng's ear. Do you think there's something wrong with White Cloud? I'm not sure if there's something wrong with White Cloud, but there's definitely something wrong with Qin Ernyang. Although she and Golden Spear are Stage 7 inner chi experts, there are many martial artists in the ancient martial ruins, including some Stage 8 inner chi experts. Can the two of them really control the exit? Look at those martial artists who died tragically on the ground. Is there really no one who can defeat them? Qin Feng voiced out his doubts. Hua Yan's expression changed drastically. Do you mean that there's an expert behind them? Qin Feng nodded slightly and hugged Hua Yan's slim waist tighter. There should be a master behind them. Otherwise, White Cloud would have made his move long ago. I don't know where that master is hiding, and I can't sense his aura. I suspect that White Cloud has sensed it. If even White Cloud doesn't dare to act rashly, then you can imagine how strong that person is. Qin Feng's big hand restlessly pinched Hua Yan's waist, but Hua Yan didn't care about it at all. She was shocked by Qin Feng's suspicion. White Cloud was the strongest among the 10 members of the exploration team. If he didn't dare to make a move, then what kind of big shot was hiding behind Qin Ernyang? Since White Cloud was unwilling to make a move, Qin Feng and the others who came with him didn't make a move. Instead, the other martial artists who came with Qin Feng and the others jumped out. They didn't think too much about it. When they saw the Ma6 Taoist nun and the strong man from the 10,000-fold sect, they thought they could definitely kill Golden Spear and Qin Ernyang as long as they helped them. The battle was in full swing. Gravel kept rolling down from the circular hall. It felt like an earthquake. Golden Spear picked up a spear from the ground and stood in front as the main attacker. Qin Ernyang stood behind him, and the long whip in her hand cracked like thunder. Their cooperation was very exciting. You're just a stage 5 energy cultivator. You're courting death. The golden spear's spear trembled, and the sharp sword tip directly pierced a warrior's eye. The warrior howled in pain, and just as he was about to grab his eye, the golden spear forcefully pulled back and swung his spear. With a rumble, the martial artist's entire head directly exploded. Fuck. What the fuck is going on? Is there a fight? That man with the spear is so cruel. Even if he wants to kill someone, he shouldn't be so cruel. Both sides fought for more than 20 minutes. At this time, a new group of people was teleported up from the underground cave. The martial artists who came up were shocked by the bloody scene before them. Golden Spear was cruel and merciless. Everyone was unhappy with him. Haha. Another group of lambs came up. Ernyang, you're so smart. I like this kind of robbery the most. We don't have to do anything and just sit back and reap the benefits. Golden Spear's eyes burned when he saw another group of people came up. He stared at the new group of people like a hungry wolf staring at lambs. You vicious bastard. Do you think I'm a lamb? I'm going to kill you first. Those who came to explore were all martial artists. Most of them were Jianghu people. They were outspoken and hot-tempered. They would use their spears if they didn't like it. 3 black figures jumped out of the crowd. One of them was holding a sword, and the other 2 were barehanded. All of them pounced at Golden Spear. Crackle! Golden Spear didn't even need to attack. Suddenly, a dozen white lights flashed in the air. The sound of whips was like thunder. Combined with the whips, it was like lightning and thunder. The man with the sword rushed to the front. He didn't even have time to swing his sword before he was sent flying. The other 2 martial artists didn't fare any better. They were badly mutilated by the overlapping whips. They fell to the ground and stopped breathing. This woman is so vicious. She's no better than that man. They are indeed a pair of adulterous men and women. They are a perfect match. What should we do now? Let's escape during the chaos. 3 martial artists died in an instant. The rest of the people began to discuss. Chapter 675. The crowd started to panic. A few timid people ran towards the exit of the hall, but before they could take 2 steps, 3 stage 4 energy martial artists were already lying in a pool of blood. Crackle! With the sound of the whip, the 3 people were whipped into meat paste. This scene was too bloody and violent. Many martial artists secretly clenched their fists and gnashed their teeth in anger, but no one dared to resist. Ha ha! Want to run? Do you think you can run away from me? Golden Spear leaped to the exit of the hall. He held his spear and pierced through anyone who came. Soon, the crowd gathered around the small round platform. No one dared to run anymore. They wanted nothing more than to be teleported to the cave below. It was too dangerous up there. Senior White Cloud, why aren't you doing anything? Qin Feng couldn't stand it anymore and asked White Cloud. White Cloud's weathered face under the white mask changed unpredictably. His sword-like eyebrows were knitted together, and even his aura began to fluctuate. White Cloud was obviously angry, but he still didn't make a move. Who knew what he was waiting for? I originally wanted to spare your worthless lives because you were members of our exploration team. But since you lost your way and didn't return, don't blame others. An angry rebuke resounded in Qin Feng's ears. Before Qin Feng could react, a white figure appeared in the air. When Yiming held the azure-edged sword, his long hair fluttered in the wind. The spirit sword in his hand seemed to have been bestowed with life. It fell lightly, but it brought with it an aura that could shatter mountains. It's you? You didn't fall to your death? Looks like you're all cockroaches. How can you be fine after falling from such a deep hole? Golden Spear's expression changed drastically. He and Qin'ernyang were focused on fighting the Amei sect Taoist nun and the strong man, so they didn't notice Qin Feng and the others. Now that their teammates had returned, Golden Spear and Qin'ernyang were more or less nervous. The azure-edged sword fell in front of Golden Spear. Without thinking, Golden Spear raised his spear and collided with it. Clang! The spear was immediately broken into two. The surging sword aura sent Golden Spear flying, and he fell on his butt beside Chinernyeong. Golden Spear sat on the ground, dumbstruck, forgetting to get up. Wen Yiming was one of the members of this expedition team, but he had been too low-key before, so everyone had almost forgotten about him. They didn't expect that this guy's strength was actually so strong. He should only be below White Cloud. Bitch, your time of death has come. Hand over your life. Without the protection of the Golden Spear, the Amasek's old Taoist priestess flew to Chinernyeong's side, swinging the horsetail whisk in her hand back and forth. The Wanzhong mountain man didn't stop. He leaped up and stepped on the Golden Spear like a towering mountain. Chinernyeong, hurry! Hurry up and call the expert behind you to come out, I'm going to be trampled to death. Golden Spear was so scared that his complexion greatly changed. He was a cowardly person who was as timid as a mouse. Chinernyeong did not pay any attention to the Golden Spear. She even cast a cold glance at him. Her long whip rose into the air, and a few shadows of the whip fell down like a curtain, temporarily blocking the Amasek's Taoist priestess and the strong man. The air was filled with loud clanging noises. Break for me! Wen Yiming raised his sword again. It was still a simple move. The long sword was like a rainbow, and a condensed sword she surged down, instantly shattering the overlapping shadows of the whip. Bang! A muffled sound came from Chinernyeong's body, and she was directly sent flying. She leaned against the rock wall and wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. She stared straight at Wen Yiming, looking as if she wanted to skin him alive. Ha ha! I can avenge my disciple. Jinger, your soul in heaven can rest in peace. The old Taoist priestess's beautiful face, which was maintained to be like a young girl's, suddenly became ferocious. The horsetail whisk in her hand spun quickly, instantly stirring up layers of powerful qi, and flew straight at Chinernyeong. The strong man had also been waiting for this moment for a long time. The anger he had been holding back today had completely exploded, and all the muscles in his body were creaking. He quickly ran toward the Golden Spear, and with every step he took, a deep pit appeared on the ground, causing the entire hall to shake. The two of them attacked together, and the Golden Spear and Chinernyeong no longer had the strength to fight back. Wen Yiming stood with his hands behind his back, and he didn't need to attack anymore. Rumble! A loud sound rang out, and a sudden gale rose in the hall. Sand and stones flew everywhere, making it difficult for people to open their eyes. The gale blew up the crushed stones on the ground, and directly surrounded Chinernyeong and the Golden Spear. The old Taoist priestess and the strong man had just arrived at the periphery of the gale, and they were directly blown away by the gale. The old Taoist priestess fell to the ground and began to vomit blood. The 10,000 Mountains man mainly cultivated the body, and his body was like an iron wall, but he was also injured quite badly. There were actually a few wounds on his body, and blood flowed continuously. The gale continued, and most of the warriors squinted their eyes, not daring to open them. A formless pressure made everyone's heart feel heavy, as if there was a thundercloud hanging over their heads. Qin Feng also forced his eyes open, but as soon as he opened his eyes, the flying sand and stones rubbed against him uncomfortably. Moreover, the entire hall was covered in sand, and there was a dusky atmosphere. Visibility was already less than half a meter, and it was even worse than the smog in the capital. Who is it? Watch my sword! Wen Yiming's angry shout came from the sand, and just as his voice rang out, a muffled sound followed. Wen Yiming didn't even have time to swing his sword, and he had already crashed into the hard rock wall, and 2 of his ribs were broken. Standing in the hall, it felt like they had arrived at a desert no-man's land. Sand and stones filled the sky, and the air was filled with a cold aura of death. Everyone held their inner qi and didn't dare to move carelessly. That powerful and oppressive aura made people's hearts tremble. It was as if a giant dragon was hanging in the air, looking down on the earth. Boss is here! Chinernyeong's surprised shout came out, but the surrounding space seemed to be spinning, and everyone had already lost their sense of direction. They couldn't even determine Chenernyang's position. Chenernyang, is this boss? This is great, we're going to be awesome! The Golden Spear also shouted, and his voice couldn't suppress his excitement and excitement. No one knew who the boss that the Golden Spear and Chenernyang were talking about was, because they couldn't even see where they were going. There was indeed an extra person in the hall, because his aura was everywhere, and that aura was very oppressive. It was as if he could casually wave his hand and cause the entire hall to change. In a while, hand over all the treasures, and save your lives! Qin Feng and the others were gathered together, and suddenly, White Cloud's voice rang in their ears. Everyone looked at White Cloud. This person's strength was unfathomable, but he didn't even need to do anything. He directly advised everyone to give up resisting. This time, Hua Yan and Ren Xiaoyao were completely in despair. Rumble! There was another loud noise, and the ground under their feet shook violently. At this time, a new group of explorers was sent up from below. As soon as they arrived, they were completely dumbfounded. Why did it feel so oppressive and terrifying up there? The violent wind dispersed, and the flying sand and stones also fell to the ground. The hall returned to its original calm, as if nothing had happened. Everyone hurriedly opened their eyes and saw 3 people standing in the middle of the hall. Chenernyang and the Golden Spear stood behind them, and in front of them was a man in a black robe. The man wore a black hat, and his entire body was covered. No one could see his appearance clearly. Little pig, buy a talisman of clairvoyance! Qin Feng directly bought a talisman of clairvoyance without hesitation. He silently chanted an incantation in his heart, and the effect of the talisman of clairvoyance was activated. The rock wall in front of Qin Feng became an empty frame, and the structure of the hall was clearly grasped by him. Qin Feng hurriedly looked at the man in the black robe. His face was pitch black, and even the talisman of clairvoyance couldn't see through it. Little pig, what's going on? Qin Feng was shocked. This was the first time that the talisman of clairvoyance couldn't see through something. Master, the man's face has an inner chi barrier. The level of the talisman of clairvoyance you bought is too low, so you can't see through it. Little Pig explained. Then is there a talisman of clairvoyance in the system that can see through the man's appearance? Qin Feng was extremely curious about the man in the black robe in front of him. He had to see through the man's appearance. Master, you can buy an advanced talisman of clairvoyance. Qin Feng looked at the advanced talisman of clairvoyance. It cost 2,000 hedonist points. Spending 2,000 hedonist points just to see the man's appearance was a bit extravagant. However, Qin Feng didn't hesitate and directly bought an advanced talisman of clairvoyance. The talisman of clairvoyance took effect, and Qin Feng looked at the man's face again. It was an old and dignified face. His eyebrows were joined together in a single line, and he had a head of gray hair. His eyes, which were mostly covered by eyelids, shone with a cold and sharp light. Qin Feng couldn't tell the man's age. He felt very old, but he also seemed to have unlimited energy. His age was only due to his body's metabolism. However, his aura was like a vast ocean, full of vitality. Who is he? Qin Feng saw the man's face, but he didn't recognize him. At this time, many people came back to their senses. A few martial artists who were new and didn't understand the situation saw the 3 people in the black robe in the hall and started shouting. Motherfucker, you scared me to death. Was it you 3 who were playing tricks? Are you crazy? Pow! Just as the man who shouted finished speaking, a long white shadow flashed by. The man was suddenly dumbfounded, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He didn't even have time to scream before his head exploded, leaving only his body in a pool of blood. Roar! Many people screamed in fear. There were a few female martial artists in the crowd, and they were so scared that they fell on their butts. The atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Chenernyang, who was waving her whip just now, took a step forward and bowed respectfully to the man in the black robe. She said, Thank you, boss, for saving us. The man in the black robe didn't say anything. He nodded slightly. Yang immediately got up and retreated behind the man in the black robe. The man with the golden spear didn't know the identity of the man in the black robe, but he could feel the strong aura from the man in the black robe. It was so oppressive that he couldn't breathe. The golden spear stared at Qin Feng and the others in front of him with a gloating look on his face. He started to feel lucky that he had followed the right person, Yang. Not only could he hug this woman, but he also had such a strong backing. It was really great. Hee hee! Boss, I am Zhang Dashan, an inner disciple of the Kunlun sect. I hope that you can give me more pointers in the future. The golden spear directly revealed his true identity. He wanted to curry favor with the man in the black robe. The man in the black robe didn't even look at Zhang Dashan. Instead, he raised his head and looked at Qin Feng and the others. He didn't wear a mask under his black hat, but the darkness made it hard for people to see clearly. When the light fell on his face, it was as if it was swallowed up by the endless darkness, and there was no reflection at all. You are all here to explore the ruins. I won't kill anyone, but all the treasures must be left behind, the man in the black robe said. His voice was like metal scraping against each other, and it made people tremble. The atmosphere became even more oppressive. No one wanted to take out their treasures. These treasures were found with great difficulty. Many people had lost their lives here for the sake of this expedition. Those who could stand here now had experienced the line between life and death before they escaped. How could they just hand over their treasures? Wouldn't that be a waste? No one was willing to hand over their treasures, and no one dared to stand up and resist. Chapter 676. Motherfucker, you bunch of ants, can't you hear what my boss said? Hurry up and take out all your treasures, or I'll kill you all. With Black Robe's appearance, Zhang Dashan was suddenly full of confidence. His insufferably arrogant demeanor made many people clench their fists in anger. Hey! How dare you glare at me? You're not convinced. I'm talking to you, four-eyed guy. It's you, get the fuck out here right now! Zhang Dashan pointed at a bespectacled man at the outermost edge of the crowd and roared. The man was only a stage 5 inner chi expert. Although he was fuming, he didn't dare to make a sound. I'm willing to hand over the treasures. Four-eyed guy finally gave up resisting. He took out the treasures he had hidden on his body and walked toward Zhang Dashan. Zhang Dashan, however, was not pleased. He raised his nose and shouted, Do you really not understand human language? I told you to get the fuck out here. Do you know what fuck off means? As a show-off, it was rare for Zhang Dashan to find such a good opportunity to show off. He was so excited that he was about to die. Zhang Dashan had just announced his name. Most of the people present were martial artists from the outside world. Zhang Dashan wanted to borrow the Black Robe boss's power to intimidate others. He felt that at this moment, he must be extremely handsome. Four-eyed boy was so angry that his neck turned red. Yang stood silently behind Black Robe. Black Robe's face was dark and without light, so no one could see his expression clearly. However, Qin Feng could see that Black Robe's ancient and dignified face had already darkened. You don't go too far. I'm already willing to hand over the treasures. What else do you want? Four-eyed guy glared at Zhang Dashan angrily. He didn't dare to say anything too harsh, nor did he want to roll on the ground in public. But Zhang Dashan didn't relent. He was determined to put on a good show today. He stomped his foot, leaving a deep footprint in the ground. The ground trembled slightly. Go too far? So what if I'm bullying you? You're not happy? Come and hit me? Don't dawdle like a girl. Get the fuck out here. Zhang Dashan's arrogance was a little over the top. The warriors gathered around the small round table all had cold looks on their faces. If Qin Fen hadn't held Hua Yan down with one hand and Li Tao with the other, the two of them would have rushed up to defend him. Green Wolf, I can't stand it anymore. Let's attack together. Do you think we can't beat the three of them? Hua Yan whispered into Qin Feng's ear. Li Tao was so angry that his whole body was sweating. He clenched his fists so hard that cracking sounds could be heard. Senior White Cloud, are you really not going to do anything? Are you willing to hand over the treasure you've worked so hard to find? Instead of answering Hua Yan's question, Qin Feng asked White Cloud. White Cloud's expression kept changing under the white mask. In the end, it shook its head and didn't speak. Obviously, it didn't want to take action. Bang! A loud sound rang out. It was the sound of Four-Eyed Boy rolling to Zhang Dashan's feet. Zhang Dashan had sent Four-Eyed Boy flying with a kick. Four-Eyed's body slammed into the rock wall and he fell to the ground, coughing out mouthful after mouthful of blood. He was on the verge of puking out all his internal organs. Big Brother Wang, are you all right? As soon as Four-Eyed Boy fell to the ground, a beautiful woman with long, flowing hair came to his side. Seeing that Four-Eyed Boy was seriously injured, tears welled up in the woman's eyes. She turned around and slapped Zhang Dashan with her palm. You're too unreasonable. I'm going to kill you! Ting Ting, come back quickly! Don't be silly! Four-Eyed Boy was so anxious that the veins on his forehead were bulging. He forced himself to hold the woman back, but his injuries were too severe. He didn't even have the strength to stand up. Four-Eyed Boy's shout was a step too late. The woman had already rushed to Zhang Dashan. Zhang Dashan dodged her easily and pulled the beauty into his arms. Hee hee! Look at how pretty this girl is. Beauty, since you've taken the initiative to throw yourself into my arms, I won't hold back. Zhang Dashan was a lecherous man. He didn't bother to hide the evil in his heart. His large hands started groping the beauty's body. The woman named Ting Ting was so scared that her face turned pale. She and Four-Eyed Boy were a couple who were passionately in love. When Zhang Dashan had forced Four-Eyed Boy to roll over, Ting Ting had wanted to make a move a few times, but Four-Eyed Boy had stopped her. Now that he saw his lover being violated by Zhang Dashan, Four-Eyed Boy roared like a crazed beast. His nails dug deep into his flesh, and he didn't care even as blood gushed out. You bastard, let go of Ting Ting, I'm going to tear you to pieces. Zhang Dashan ignored Four-Eyed Boy's roars. Instead, his interest was piqued by Four-Eyed Boy's rage. After he was done groping Ting Ting, he started tearing her clothes. By the time he was done, most of Ting Ting's shoulders and legs were already exposed. The warriors all closed their eyes or turned their heads away. They didn't peek at Ting Ting's body. Everyone was so angry that their expressions were grave. They wanted nothing more than to kill this bastard, Zhang Dashan. Ah, you bastard, I'll kill you! Hua Yan couldn't stand it anymore. With a roar, she was ready to fight. Qin Feng was one step ahead of her. He pressed Hua Yan to the ground and leaped into the air. Yan, stay here. I'll teach this bastard a lesson for you. Since Qin Feng was going to make a move, he didn't waste any more words. With a wave of his hand, several wind blades whizzed past, shooting directly at Zhang Dashan, who was enjoying himself. Pfft! Zhang Dashan dodged in time, but a few wind blades still managed to cut the skin on his arm. Blood gushed out instantly, staining half of his clothes red. It's you? Zhang Dashan slapped Ting Ting away. Clearly, he wasn't in the mood to play with women anymore. He glared coldly at Qin Feng. He had already recognized Qin Feng. That's right, it's your grandfather. Qin Feng landed on the ground with his hands behind his back. His hair and clothes fluttered even though there was no wind, leaving everyone with a straight and righteous back. The warriors cheered in their hearts. Qin Feng had done what they wanted to do but didn't dare to do. Stinking brat, you've been giving me a hard time. I thought you fell to your death. It's good that you didn't. I'm going to cut you into pieces and feed your corpse to the dogs. Ha! Zhang Dashan was like a madman, laughing maniacally. Halfway through his laughter, his expression suddenly turned cold, and he quickly swatted at Qin Feng. You're asking for it. Qin Feng didn't back down. He punched out. The special Thunder Tiger Fist's momentum was turbulent, like a ferocious tiger descending the mountain. The wind of the fist carried a tiger's roar as it rushed out, and with one punch, Zhang Dashan was sent flying. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and Zhang Dashan fell to the ground. His clothes were shattered, and his hair was a mess in front of his face. Blood sprayed out from his body and stuck to his hair. He looked as pathetic as a beggar. With just one punch, Qin Feng had broken Zhang Dashan's momentum. It was also this punch that shocked the warriors present. Cough, cough, cough. Zhang Dashan coughed violently and stood up with great difficulty. His triangular eyes were filled with disbelief. He had fought with Qin Feng before, and he knew that Qin Feng was strong, but he didn't expect him to be this strong. They were both stage 7 inner chi martial artists, so why was he defeated with just one punch? You dare to attack me? Zhang Dashan hadn't recovered from Qin Feng's momentum, and his voice was trembling. Are you an idiot? I've already beaten you to the point of vomiting blood, and you still ask such a question? Qin Feng said calmly. At this time, new warriors were teleported up from the underground cave. They had already learned about the current situation from others. These Jianghu warriors stared at Qin Feng in shock. They admired Qin Feng very much. They had long disliked Zhang Dashan, but they didn't dare to voice their anger. Hua Yan's beautiful eyes sparkled. She felt that Qin Feng was too handsome at this moment. She wanted to pounce on him and serve him. Bai Yun and Ren Xiaoyao were also shocked. They didn't expect Green Wolf to attack. When Yiming and the Amazed Taoist nun were injured and lying on the ground in front of them, they were very grateful that Green Wolf had avenged them. Everyone's expression and thoughts were different, but Qin Feng didn't care. He had been secretly observing the black-robed man's facial expression. This man was Qin Feng's biggest threat. Zhang Dashan knew that he was no match for Qin Feng, so he begged the black-robed man for help. Boss, this person came to explore with us. He fell into the crater a long time ago. He must have a lot of treasures on him. Boss, quickly take him down. The black-robed man didn't speak. He didn't even look at Zhang Dashan. He raised his dark face slightly and looked at Qin Feng. Qin Feng saw the black-robed man's expression. There was a trace of surprise, but more of anger and coldness. Boss, why aren't you saying anything? Hurry up and make your move. This kid is the most arrogant. If we don't subdue him, I'm afraid the others will stand up and fight back. When that happens, we can't suppress this group of wretched wretches anymore. Seeing that the black-robed man didn't speak, Zhang Dashan continued to yell. Halfway through, Zhang Dashan's voice suddenly stopped. The air seemed to freeze at this moment. The entire hall fell into a dead silence. Only the sound of everyone's wildly beating hearts could be heard. Pucci! The black-robed man's palm had pierced into Zhang Dashan's heart. It entered through his chest and came out from his back. The hand was old and skinny. It was covered in blood and some dark red flesh. There were also some remnants of a heart. It was filled with the scent of death, and everyone felt a chill run down their spine. You talk too much. I'm sick of it. The black-robed man's voice sounded like two pieces of metal rubbing against each other. As soon as he finished speaking, he withdrew his hand from Zhang Dashan's chest. Zhang Dashan was long dead. His eyes were wide open, and his burly body fell to the ground, scattering a cloud of dust. Bang! His body fell to the ground, and a loud sound spread out. It was like a muffled thunder that struck everyone's hearts. Before this, these people thought that Zhang Dashan's methods were too cruel. But now, compared to the black-robed man, his methods paled in comparison. Qin Feng's body tensed up because he saw the black-robed man's cold, piercing eyes staring at him from head to toe. An invisible pressure enveloped Qin Feng. Qin Feng had felt this pressure not long ago. It was when he fought Purple Dragon Su Xiaotian at the Soaring Cloud Mansion. And at this moment, the pressure that the black-robed man gave Qin Feng was even stronger than the Purple Dragon. Why did you attack? Are you trying to defy my orders? The black-robed man spoke again, obviously questioning Qin Feng. Qin Feng tried his best to calm himself down. He looked at the black-robed man and said, I don't like him. I want to teach him a lesson. Among everyone present, Qin Feng was probably the only one who dared to speak to the black-robed man. Even White Cloud couldn't force out a word. The black-robed man was silent for a moment, then continued. Leave all the treasures on you and get lost. There was a ripple in the black-robed man's voice. He was obviously angered. Qin Fen was still angry. When he heard the word, get lost, he was very unhappy. Master, Wan Mei Villa's Shimen Chui Shui requests to fight. Master, White Camel Villa's Villa Master Ouyang Feng requests to fight. Shimen Chui Shui and Ouyang Feng's voices rang out in Qin Fen's mind. The two champions had long disliked the black-robed man. They wanted nothing more than to jump out of the system. How dare he threaten Master? How dare he act tough in front of Master? See if I don't beat the shit out of you. Qin Fen also wanted to release the hero and use his ultimate move, but he was now Green Wolf. Whether it was Shimen Chui Shui or Ouyang Feng, it wouldn't make sense. These two had already made a name for themselves in the martial arts world. They were even more famous than Qin Fen. Master, you can activate the Justice Halo emblem. Little Pig suddenly reminded. Chapter 677. Activate! Without hesitation, Qin Feng activated the Halo of Justice medal. Bang! Suddenly, a loud sound came from Qin Feng's body. It was as if something inside Qin Feng's body had exploded. The warriors were all shocked. They wondered if this person's lungs had exploded because of Black Robe's anger. After the loud noise, Qin Feng's aura changed, shocking even himself. Qin Feng stood in the center of the circular hall with his hands behind his back. He and Black Robe formed a sharp contrast. Black Robe was like darkness, absorbing all light. Qin Feng was like light, shrouded in a milky white halo, like a god descending to the mortal world. This milky white halo was the aura of justice, released after the Halo of Justice medal was activated. This aura was unfamiliar, but Qin Feng was instantly immersed in it. Hua Yan was dumbfounded. Wen Yiming and the old Taoist nun were so shocked that their jaws dropped to the ground. Bai Yun's old eyes were filled with shock. The other martial artist's eyes fell to the ground. Even the black-robed man's sharp eyes flashed with shock, and even a trace of fear. What aura was this? This was obviously an existence that transcended inner chi. You want to make me leave? You're not worthy! Qin Feng's voice was loud, like the ringing of a large bell, spreading out with a majestic and sacred aura. The aura of justice enveloped the entire circular hall, suppressing the powerful aura of the black-robed man. Qin Feng's aura was even more powerful, yet gentle. The martial artists felt as if they were sunbathing in the winter, or like the refreshing spring breeze after the rain. Qin Feng said Black Robe was not worthy, full of confidence. Everyone even had an illusion that Black Robe was not worthy. The one who should leave was Black Robe. Time seemed to have stopped. The black-robed man was stunned for a long time and did not make a sound. Chen Ernyang, who was standing behind him, was already scared out of her wits. Even if she was beaten to death, she would never have thought that there would be such a master in the group that she had teamed up with. Qin Feng's aura of justice was too unfamiliar. Could it be the legendary True Cultivation aura? Who are you? You've broken through to the True Chi stage? After a long time, Black Robe's voice slowly sounded. It was not as cold and powerful as before, but had become gentle. Who I am isn't important. What's important is that I want you to scram. Qin Feng's face was calm and collected as if he was talking about something very normal. The black-robed man's expression was extremely cold and gloomy. His hands, which were hidden in his robes, were clenched into fists, as if he was ready to attack at any moment. Qin Feng clenched his fists, and prepared to attack at any moment. He suddenly had the aura of a cultivator, so he was extremely excited. Qin Feng couldn't wait to use Black Robe to practice. Black Robe was a Stage 9 Inner Chi expert, and Qin Feng had never beaten a Stage 9 Inner Chi expert before. Today, his wish was fulfilled. Before Qin Feng could make a move, Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Master, you can't defeat Black Robe. The aura that Qin Feng had built up with great difficulty was almost broken. He hurriedly asked, Why can't I beat them? I felt that I had become extremely strong. Wasn't the righteous chi equivalent to the effective true chi? You can't even defeat a stage 9 inner chi martial artist? Qin Feng was frightened by Little Pig's words. If a true chi expert couldn't defeat Black Robe, then Black Robe's strength was truly beyond Qin Feng's expectations. Master, you may have misunderstood the true effect of the righteous halo emblem. The righteous chi only allowed Master to have the aura of a cultivator, but it didn't increase Master's strength to the true chi stage. To put it bluntly, Master is just a facade, but inside, you still have your original strength. Little Pig quickly explained. He was afraid that Qin Feng would act recklessly and attack. Qin Feng immediately felt unwell. This system was as deceptive as always. You want me to scram? Are you sure? In the end, Black Robe didn't directly attack. His voice was filled with anger. It seemed that the righteous chi emitted from Qin Feng's body had truly frightened him. Qin Feng was full of confidence earlier, but now he was completely shaken. This righteous halo emblem was truly too deceptive. It was equivalent to putting a wolf's skin on a little sheep. If Black Robe found out, wouldn't Qin Feng be tortured to death? Ahem! Qin Feng coughed dryly and tried his best to appear calm and composed. He said unhurriedly, Hey, Bai Yun, come out here. This guy's strength is too weak. I don't want to leave a bad reputation as a bully, so I won't make a move. Help me teach him a lesson so he'll remember it. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, White Cloud's old face, which was hidden under the white mask, almost became crooked. His complexion was as black as the bottom of a pot. White Cloud had already planned to make a move. He had long sensed Black Robe's aura. Black Robe's strength was unfathomable. He was definitely above stage 9 inner chi. White Cloud admitted that he was no match for Black Robe, so he simply swallowed his anger. In the end, Green Wolf pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger. His body's dense true chi was comparable to that of a true chi stage expert. This time, White Cloud was truly in a dilemma. White Cloud, are you not willing to come out? When Qin Feng saw that White Cloud still didn't come out, he was so anxious that he wanted to kick this old man to death. Qin Feng suddenly unleashed his true chi. Dense true chi rolled out from his body and shot out in all directions. The martial artists below stage 6 inner chi were so scared that they directly knelt down. White Cloud was also unable to resist the demonstration of a true chi expert. His pair of old legs actually began to tremble uncontrollably. Black Robe's body was also trembling uncontrollably, but he was very good at hiding it. Bang! White Cloud suddenly unleashed his true chi. His true chi spewed out from his body and spread out. He leaped lightly and turned into a white shadow that stood beside Qin Feng. The surrounding people cried out in surprise again. This inconspicuous old man who stood in the middle of them was actually a stage 8 inner chi expert. You want us to leave the treasure behind? You must be daydreaming. Since White Cloud had already stood out, he didn't back down. His true chi surged unceasingly as if he was demonstrating his strength to Black Robe. Black Robe simply glanced at White Cloud before his gaze fell back on Qin Feng. White Cloud was only a martial artist at the peak of stage 8 inner chi. In the eyes of others, he was very powerful, but in Black Robe's eyes, he was nothing. What Black Robe was truly afraid of was Qin Feng's surging true chi. White Cloud, you old fart, how dare you go against boss's orders? The battle in front of them was obviously not something Chen Ernyang could participate in, but she still braced herself and stood out. It wasn't that Chen Ernyang was very loyal to Black Robe, but she had followed Black Robe for a long time and knew how ruthless he was. Zhang Dashan, who had his heart dug up not long ago, was the best example. Not only will I resist, but I believe that all the martial artists behind me will also stand up and resist. If you don't stand up now, when will you? Do you really want to give away the treasure that you exchanged your life for with your own hands? White Cloud was still somewhat afraid of Black Robe. He had no choice but to stand up. White Cloud didn't want to really fight with Black Robe. If that happened, he would definitely die. White Cloud began to rope in other martial artists to join him. As long as everyone resisted together, with the help of Green Wolf, a true Qi stage expert, the other party would definitely be afraid. Green Wolf, I'll help you! Hua Yan, who had long been restless, was the first to jump out. We're here too! The amazed sect's old Taoist nun, Wen Yiming, and Li Tao formed the second group and leaped behind Qin Feng. Benefactor, I'll help you too! The little beauty, Tingting, who was almost molested by Zhang Dashan not long ago, also joined the team. Her boyfriend, Four-Eyed Guy, also wanted to join, but he was too seriously injured and was recuperating at the side. Everyone, stand up, or you won't have a chance! Ren Xiaoyao also came and encouraged the others to stand up. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Figures constantly flashed by, and the team behind Qin Feng grew larger and larger. At first, he was alone, but now there were more than 30 people. Black-robed monster, you want to steal our treasure? You're fucking looking for death. Do you really think we're easy to bully? I didn't lower myself to your level earlier, but do you have the guts to talk back? I'll smash your balls with my hammer. Everyone, let's work together and get Black Robe and that evil woman. All the martial artists stood behind Qin Feng. These people's strength varied, but when it came to scolding and fighting, each one was more vicious than the other. They couldn't see Black Robe's expression, but Qin Feng could clearly see his wrinkled face. If he were to act in a horror film now, he would definitely act as himself. You bunch of ants, you're courting death. Rumble! A loud explosion erupted in the hall. It was Black Robe's inner chi that exploded in anger. As soon as the inner chi was released, everyone was so scared that they didn't dare to speak. Black Robe's strength was also revealed. He was at the peak of stage 9 inner chi. Thump! There were many martial artists below stage 6 inner chi in the crowd. Under the pressure of Black Robe's violent chi, these people directly knelt on the ground. The martial artists with lower levels even started to feel dizzy and vomited blood. These martial artists were at least stage 3 inner chi. If they were in a big city, each of them would be considered an expert. However, in front of a stage 9 inner chi expert, a single burst of chi could injure them. Black Robe only released his chi, but he didn't make a move. His face, which was hidden under the black hat, was ashen. In China, his status was high and mighty, and he was revered by everyone. His fame was unparalleled. Black Robe was furious that a group of nameless nobodies like him questioned and cursed him. He wanted to skin everyone alive, but because Qin Feng was standing there, Black Robe didn't dare to make a move. Rumble! Before Black Robe's chi could completely subside, another loud explosion resounded in the hall. This time, it was Qin Feng who released his righteous chi. The ground in the hall shook and the mountains swayed. Rocks and rubble tumbled down from the walls. After Qin Feng activated the halo of justice metal, he could release an endless amount of righteous chi for an hour. If Black Robe wanted to compete with him in terms of chi, Qin Feng would die of laughter. Rumble! Before the first explosion subsided, another one came. Black Robe could only release his chi once. When Qin Feng released his chi, it was like a torrential river that surged endlessly. The deafening chi continued to resound. Waves of vigorous true chi blotted out the sky and covered the earth. In an instant, it engulfed Black Robe's inner chi. In front of Qin Feng's righteous chi, Black Robe's inner chi was like an ant that had encountered an elephant. What's the meaning of this? You want to compete with me in chi explosion? You're not young anymore, why are you so childish? Qin Feng released his chi and taunted. Black Robe was so angry that he broke through. His vigorous inner chi dissipated, and he almost fainted from Qin Feng's anger. Ha ha! We have Hero Green Wolf's support. What's there to be afraid of? That's right. Hero Green Wolf is a true chi expert. That Black Robe monster only dares to fart. He doesn't dare to use his true strength. Long live Hero Green Wolf! Defeat the Black Robe monster! Qin Feng's strength brought the martial artists back to their senses. They were frightened by Black Robe earlier, and now they began to brag again. Black Robe's expression became colder and colder. He almost swallowed his teeth. Chapter 678. If Qin Feng didn't make a move, Black Robe wouldn't either. If Black Robe didn't make a move, the cowardly martial artists wouldn't make a move either. The scene was extremely comical and bizarre. Qin Feng and Black Robe stared at each other. The martial artists with slightly higher realms also shut their mouths and kept quiet. On the other hand, the group of martial artists below stage 6 energy acted like newborn calves that were not afraid of tigers. They yelled at the top of their lungs to provoke Black Robe. Qin Feng didn't know how much longer Black Robe could endure, but he couldn't endure it any longer. Rumble! Black Robe's body exploded with dense energy again, causing the martial artists to quieten down. Without waiting for Qin Feng to explode, Black Robe hurriedly said, "I came to this ancient martial ruin to look for a secret cultivation method. If you're obedient, then take out all your treasures and let me check them. If you don't have the cultivation method that I need, then I won't take any of your treasures and will let you leave immediately. Of course, if this doesn't work, then we can only fight to the death. I might really be killed by you, but I'm also confident that I can kill the rest of you." Black Robe had no choice but to take a step back under Qin Feng's authority. As one of the strongest martial artists in China, he never thought that he would have to compromise one day. Black Robe felt very sullen, but he was also very helpless. Everyone was shaken quite badly by Black Robe's violent aura. For a while, they couldn't even speak. When Qin Feng saw Black Robe take a step back, he slightly relaxed. If this battle really did happen, then Qin Feng would be in trouble. "Little pig, how many hedonist points does it cost to exchange for Black Robe's information?" Qin Feng became more and more curious about Black Robe's identity. Although there were many ancient martial artists in China, how many of them were at the peak of stage 9 inner qi? "Master, it costs 5,000 hedonist points," Little Pig said. Qin Feng hesitated for a moment, but he still gritted his teeth and bought Black Robe's information. Suddenly, a huge wave of information flowed into Qin Feng's mind, stunning him. The Black-robed man's real name was Feng Qingyu, one of the 9 dragons of Huaxia, the Green Dragon. He was a stage 9 energy expert. Azure Dragon, Feng Qingyu, had secretly arranged for Qinyang to join the exploration team formed by White Cloud. According to the information obtained by Feng Qingyu, this grade 3 ancient martial relic was most likely the place where Lan Mo, the man of the demon race, cultivated in seclusion 100 years ago. Because Lan Mo had cultivated the Little Chrysanthemum Codex, his strength had skyrocketed and he became the demon lord of the demon race. Azure Dragon had been eyeing this peerless codex for a long time, so this time, he had Qinyang sneak in secretly. Qinyang pretended to be an explorer and joined White Cloud's exploration team. She then found out the location of the ancient warrior ruins. Qinyang secretly sent the information to Azure Dragon, and Azure Dragon spread the news, attracting a large number of martial artists. The Azure Dragon sent these people to search for treasures, while he ordered Qinyang to guard the exit and rob the treasures. This plan was airtight, and Azure Dragon would reap the benefits of the third party. However, Azure Dragon did not expect to meet Green Wolf along the way, which caused his plan to deviate slightly. Qin Feng spent 5,000 hedonist points to purchase information on the Azure Dragon's identity, and the conspiracy behind this expedition to the ancient martial ruins. Qin Feng was still in shock and hadn't come back to his senses. Qin Feng admired this sinister scheme. Ding! The hedonist sovereign system has issued a mission: defeat China's Azure Dragon, Feng Qingyu, with your own strength. Mission time limit, 3 months. If the mission is completed successfully, the system will reward host Qin Feng with 50,000 hedonist points and access to the system's divine skill interface for free. If the mission is failed, 100,000 hedonist points will be deducted and an existing system interface will be randomly sealed. Haha. What kind of bullshit are you talking about, you idiot? Who do you think you are? If you know what's good for you, you'd better get the hell out of here. Otherwise, I won't go easy on you. Suddenly, a stage 4 energy cultivator jumped out from the crowd. He held a pair of battle axes in his hands and glared at Black Robe fiercely. He knew he was no match for Black Robe, but he had the support of Hero Green Wolf, so he wasn't afraid at all. Qin Feng didn't know Black Robe's identity before, but now that he knew Black Robe was Azure Dragon, Qin Feng's mouth twitched violently when he saw a Stage 4 Energy Cultivator clamoring in front of Azure Dragon. Alright, I agree with your proposal. You can search everyone's treasures, Qin Feng said abruptly before Black Robe could react. Whoosh! The crowd was in an uproar. Everyone looked at Qin Feng with different expressions. No one expected Green Wolf to be the first one to compromise with Black Robe. The Stage 4 Energy Cultivator was so shocked that his eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. He reacted quickly and threw away the axes in his hands and took off his clothes. Hee, brother Black Robe, I was just playing with you. You want to search the treasures, right? Go ahead. I didn't find any martial arts or secret manuals. Black Robe changed his attitude faster than flipping a page of a book. Azure Dragon was furious. If Black Robe was one step slower, his heart would have been dug out by Azure Dragon. What are you doing? You don't have to take off your underwear. Black Robe's angry voice came when Black Robe was halfway through taking off his underwear. Black Robe hastily pulled his underwear back down. Hee. I'm just worried that you won't be able to take it off. I won't take it off if you don't want to. I won't hold you responsible anyway. You. Azure Dragon was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. He swallowed his words before he could utter a word. Black Robe quickly regained his composure. He said to Chen Er-Nyang indifferently, Go and search these people. Yes, boss. Chen Er-Nyang's figure flashed and appeared beside the crowd. She searched through Black Robe's clothes and carefully checked the treasures hidden by him. She said coldly, You don't have any secret manuals. You can leave now. Black Robe hastily put on his clothes and ran out of the cavern hall. When the others saw that Black Robe had let go, they quickly took out their treasures for Chen Er-Nyang to check. Most of them didn't find any secret manuals, so they had nothing to worry about. Chen Er-Nyang began to check everyone one by one. Qin Feng and Azure Dragon still stood in the same place and looked at each other. Azure Dragon had already withdrawn his inner chi. It had been more than half an hour since he entered the arena. Even though Azure Dragon was an expert at the peak of Stage 9 inner chi, it was still a little difficult for him to endure being in the state of Chi Fury for half an hour. Azure Dragon was shocked when he saw the milky white true Chi still rolling around Qin Feng's body. Is this the power of a true Chi expert? Did this true Chi not cost anything? Everyone lined up in an orderly manner and waited for Chen Er-Nyang to check them. Not long after, half of the martial artists finished their checks and ran out. None of these warriors had found the secret manual they were looking for. Azure Dragon's old face, hidden under his black hat, became increasingly cold. A hint of anxiety flashed across his old eyes, which were mostly covered by his eyelids. The moment Azure Dragon's identity was exposed, Qin Feng dispelled the idea of fighting him. Qin Feng couldn't defeat Azure Dragon with his own strength. If they really had to fight, he could only summon Shimenchui Shui and Ouyang Feng. Azure Dragon was an expert at the peak of Stage 9 inner chi. Shimenchui Shui would be affected by the Earth's magnetic field once he came out, so he wasn't a match for Azure Dragon. Could Ouyang Feng defeat Azure Dragon? Qin Feng wasn't sure. Even if Ouyang Feng really killed Azure Dragon, Qin Feng couldn't let him do so. Azure Dragon was one of the 9 dragons of China. If he really died, the dragon sect would definitely send people to investigate this matter. At that time, Qin Feng's identity would be exposed, and he would be hunted by the dragon sect all over the world. Therefore, Qin Feng readily agreed to let Azure Dragon search everyone's body. But before he agreed, Qin Feng thought of a way to trick Azure Dragon. Even if you are one of the 9 dragons of China, if you dare to bully me for no reason, I won't let you off easy. Little pig, copy me the 2nd volume of the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Book. Change the 2nd volume to the 1st volume and copy the contents in reverse. Qin Feng communicated with Little Pig telepathically. Not long after, the system beeped and a brand new, little chrysanthemum treasure book, rose into the air. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin, for spending 500 hedonist points to copy the counterfeit, little chrysanthemum treasure book. Qin Feng flipped his palm behind him and the counterfeit, little chrysanthemum treasure book, appeared in his hand. There weren't many martial artists left, so it was Qin Feng's turn to be searched. He followed the crowd and lined up. While the martial artist in front of him was unprepared, Qin Feng stuffed the counterfeit, little chrysanthemum treasure book, into his pocket. Azure Dragon's expression was as cold as still water. He saw that there were only a dozen or so martial artists left, but the little chrysanthemum treasure book still hadn't appeared. Boss, I found it. Quick, take a look. Is it this one? Suddenly, Chen Ernyang's surprised voice sounded. Azure Dragon's eyes lit up, and he leaped to Chen Ernyang's side. Azure Dragon snatched the secret book from Chen Ernyang's hand and flipped through a few pages. It was his first time reading this secret book. Although he had never seen the little chrysanthemum treasure book before, the material of this secret book and the abstruse content told Azure Dragon that this was the real deal. Is this my secret book? What kind of secret book is this? Why don't I have any impression of it? I don't remember finding a secret book. Then, if you want it, you can have it. The martial artist who was found to have the secret book that Azure Dragon needed was so scared that his whole body trembled. His mind was in a daze. He clearly remembered that he didn't find the secret book. Very well, it's the right choice that you're willing to hand over the secret book. Now that I've found what I need, everyone can leave. Azure Dragon had painstakingly schemed in the ancient martial ruins for this little chrysanthemum treasure book. Now that he had the secret book in his hands, Azure Dragon planned to leave. Wait, did you find what you wanted, and now you want to leave so easily? Just when everyone heaved a sigh of relief, Qin Feng's voice suddenly rang out like a great bell, giving everyone a fright. Azure Dragon, who was walking halfway, stopped abruptly. He didn't dare to act blindly without thinking, because a dense wave of truth she had locked onto him. Azure Dragon was afraid that Azure Wolf would really attack. In everyone's eyes, Azure Dragon was like a demon from hell. This demon was willing to leave after finding what he wanted, but they didn't expect Hero Green Wolf to make him stay. Indeed, those with strength could be willful. What else do you want? Azure Dragon suppressed his anger and looked at Qin Feng. His voice was much gentler. Now that Azure Dragon had found what he needed, he didn't want to fight with Qin Feng. For the sake of fairness, you can take the secret book, but you must leave behind the other treasures you found here. Qin Feng's voice was calm, but it carried an indisputable aura. Everyone was dumbfounded. Only Hero Green Wolf would dare to steal treasures from a demon from hell. Azure Dragon and Chen Ernyang's bodies stiffened. They were also shocked by Qin Feng's words. When Qin Feng came up, he saw that the formation gate with the 3 formation eyes had been destroyed. Qin Feng's exploration team had expended a great deal of energy to almost destroy the formation gate. Later, it must have been destroyed by Chen Ernyang and Zhang Dashan together. Chapter 679. I don't have any treasures with me. I only have the secret book I just obtained. Give me all the treasures you found. Azure Dragon hesitated for a moment, and ordered Chen Ernyang to hand over all the treasures. The other treasures in this Grade 3 ancient martial arts relic were not attractive to Azure Dragon. If it wasn't for the fact that the little chrysanthemum codex might be hidden in this relic, Azure Dragon would not have come here. However, as one of the 9 dragons of China, Azure Dragon was furious that he was threatened by Azure Wolf. He had already engraved Azure Wolf in his mind and planned to find an opportunity to kill Azure Wolf when he returned. Chen Ernyang had been busy for half a day and had many treasures hidden on her body. How could she be willing to hand them over? However, under Azure Dragon's order, Chen Ernyang could only unwillingly dig out the treasures on her body. The process of digging out the treasures was breathtaking, and everyone was stunned. Chen Ernyang's treasures were all hidden in her clothes. Just from her bra alone, She had taken out 5 spirit stones. No wonder her breasts were so big. There were even 2 secret manuals of martial arts hidden in her underwear. It was almost like a live stripping video. Everyone had forgotten that they were here to split Qin Ernyang's treasures. They were here to admire her beauty with their eyes wide open. Hurry up, stop dawdling! Azure Dragon couldn't stand it any more and said coldly. Qin Ernyang was so scared that her body trembled. She couldn't care less about exposing herself. She stripped herself and threw out all the treasures hidden in her clothes. There were all kinds of treasures on the ground. Secret books, elixirs, spiritual stones, precious stones, and a few short weapons were all hidden in her clothes. Wasn't this woman afraid of cutting her body? All my treasures are here! Qin Ernyang took out all the treasures and quickly put on her clothes. Her expression was cold, and she glared at Qin Feng from time to time. She hated him to death. I'll leave all the treasures to you. I'm leaving now! Azure Dragon didn't want to stay here any longer. He was ready to leave as soon as he finished speaking. Qin Feng's true chi surged and locked onto Azure Dragon again. He said unhurriedly, Don't leave yet. There's something I need your help with. Azure Dragon stopped again. He was so angry that his eyeballs almost popped out of his eye sockets. He took a deep breath and looked like he was trying his best to suppress the anger in his heart. What is it? I don't want to see that woman ever again, Qin Feng said to Qin Ernyang. Qin Ernyang's delicate body tensed up. She immediately felt an aura of death lock onto her. Qin Ernyang didn't even have time to scream before Black Robe's withered hand pierced through her chest and directly crushed Qin Ernyang's heart. Is there anything else? There's a limit to my patience. Crushing Qin Ernyang to death was as easy as crushing an ant in Azure Dragon's eyes. Azure Dragon pushed Qin Ernyang's corpse to the ground and looked at Qin Feng as if nothing had happened. In any case, this woman was Azure Dragon's subordinate. Azure Dragon was indeed vicious and merciless. You can get lost now. Qin Feng stared at Azure Dragon and said word by word. Azure Dragon's body visibly swayed, and an aura of death burst out from his body. The remaining 10 or so warriors in the hall were so scared that their legs were trembling. This hero Azure Wolf was too domineering, and the weak hearts of these warriors were almost unable to bear it. I'll remember you. Don't let me see you again. Azure Dragon squeezed out these few words from between his teeth. His figure flickered and turned into a black shadow. In a breath's time, he disappeared from everyone's sight. Whew! After Azure Dragon left for a while, everyone finally relaxed. The cave hall was filled with the sound of people gasping for breath. Azure Wolf, what should we do with these treasures? Hua Yan had already come to Qin Feng's side. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be an expert of the true Qi stage. Hua Yan was so excited that her little heart almost jumped out of her throat. Bai Yun and Ren Xiaoyao also came over. When Yiming and the Ma6 old Taoist nun had been recuperating, both of them leaped to Qin Feng's side. Their strength had already recovered by more than half. Originally, there were 10 people in the exploration team. Now there were only 6 people left. The 6 of them gathered together, and their hearts were filled with emotions. Qin Feng glanced at the treasures on the ground. These treasures should belong to everyone. I'll take the 6 spirit stones and 2 gold bars. As for the rest of the treasures, you guys can divide them among yourselves. Qin Feng said and took away all the things he needed. Bai Yun and the others didn't stand on ceremony. They surrounded the treasures and took what they needed. Soon, the treasures were divided among themselves. At this time, a group of martial artists rushed in from the entrance of the hall. They were the people who had just escaped. They returned to the hall and looked at Qin Feng in high spirits. They revealed expressions of worship and respect. Hero Azure Wolf, thank you for your help. Otherwise, we would have wasted our trip today. Yes, it's all thanks to Hero Azure Wolf today. I am a disciple of the Flaming Mountain. In the future, if Hero Azure Wolf needs anything from the Flaming Mountain, just say the word. Hero Azure Wolf, I am a disciple of the Flying Dagger School. The Flying Dagger School is also willing to be friends with Hero Azure Wolf. Dozens of martial artists surrounded Qin Feng and tried to curry favor with him. They stayed at the entrance of the cave to wait for Azure Wolf to come out. In the end, they didn't see Azure Wolf. Instead, they saw Black Robe run away. So, they came back to find Azure Wolf. In their eyes, Azure Wolf was an expert of the true Qi stage. Which sect didn't want to curry favor with him? Huh! Hero Azure Wolf, you can't be the wolf-head hero who killed Qin Feng with one palm a few days ago, right? Very quickly, someone in the crowd recognized Qin Feng. A month ago, Qin Feng caused a second martial arts disturbance at Devil Beast Mountain. At that time, he created a doppelganger and transformed into Azure Wolf to kill the doppelganger. In that battle, Azure Wolf's prestige shook the world. However, many people didn't know Azure Wolf's name. They only knew of the wolf mask. Moreover, although people saw Qin Feng wearing a wolf mask, they didn't think too much about the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain. After all, there were too many martial artists who wore wolf masks to hide their identities. Moreover, the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain had the strength of at least stage 9 inner Qi. Otherwise, how could he kill Qin Feng? Why would a stage 9 inner Qi expert like this grade 3 ancient ruins? However, after Qin Feng suppressed the black-robed man, some people connected Azure Wolf with the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain. The wolf mask might be similar or even an imitation, but how many people in China could imitate the strength of the wolf-headed man? The wolf-headed man? It's really the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain. Tui, no, it's the wolf-headed hero from Devil Beast Mountain! Someone shouted. More people began to connect Azure Wolf with the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain. After a comparison, they realized that there was a 99% chance that Azure Wolf was the wolf-headed man. However, everyone changed their way of addressing Qin Feng. No one dared to call Qin Feng the wolf-headed man in front of him. They all called him Hero Azure Wolf, or Hero Wolf. Qin Feng saw that his identity had been guessed, so he didn't need to hide it. Anyway, Azure Wolf's identity had already made a name for himself in the martial arts world. Qin Feng might as well take the initiative to admit it and make his identity more famous. In the future, when Qin Feng needed to do some missions, it would be more convenient for him to use Azure Wolf's identity. Heroes of the martial arts world, I'm Azure Wolf. It's true that I'm the wolf-headed man from Devil Beast Mountain a few days ago. Today, I'm accompanying my little girlfriend to the ancient ruins to relieve her boredom. After seeing such injustice, of course I have to stand up and seek justice for everyone. There's no need to thank me. Qin Feng quickly came up with a bunch of lies, and the martial artists of the martial arts world were instantly moved to tears. Everyone looked at Qin Feng with even more admiration and reverence. Hero Azure Wolf was an expert of the true Qi stage, yet he still used such a humble term like, "I'm your humble self." This was the humble and low-key cultural tradition of China that had been passed down for over 5,000 years. Hero Azure Wolf was indeed a capricious expert. Everyone who came to the ancient ruins was racing against time to search for treasures. Many of their companions died tragically in this expedition, but Hero Azure Wolf brought his little girlfriend for a stroll. Who could learn such a romantic atmosphere and atmosphere? Hero Azure Wolf was even talking about his little girlfriend. The word little was enough to explain everything. Hero Azure Wolf had many other women by his side. Qin Feng didn't expect that a single sentence from him would cause everyone to prostrate themselves in admiration. It seemed like his realm of acting cool had improved a lot. Hero Azure Wolf, these are all the treasures I found in the ancient ruins. Do you have any that you like? I'll give them to you as a gift to show my respect to Hero Azure Wolf. Some of the more perceptive people in the crowd started to take out their treasures to curry favor with Qin Feng. This method was immediately imitated by the others. Dozens of martial artists took out their best treasures and surrounded Qin Feng, trying to shove them into his hands. Qin Feng swept his gaze over everyone's treasures. There were low-grade cultivation methods and white-grade spiritual weapons. These were very powerful treasures in everyone's eyes, but Qin Feng really didn't care for them. Heroes of the martial arts world, the treasures you've taken out are too valuable. Although I, Azure Wolf, really need the treasures in everyone's hands, I definitely won't accept them. This time, you've also risked your lives to come to the ancient ruins to search for treasures. The treasures you've obtained were exchanged with your lives. If I take your treasures, wouldn't that be taking your lives? I, Hero Azure Wolf, am not that kind of person. Qin Feng stood in the middle of the crowd with his hands clasped behind his back. His words were sonorous and forceful. His body was filled with an aura of righteousness. His heroic stance moved everyone once again. Hero Azure Wolf is indeed an outstanding person in the martial arts world. I, Wang Ergu, am completely convinced today. Hero Azure Wolf, if you have time, come to the North Pole sect as a guest. Our sect leader will definitely welcome you personally. I still have important matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave first. Hero Azure Wolf, farewell. The group of martial arts world people were all heroic and strong. Everyone bid farewell to Qin Feng one by one and returned with great excitement. The circular hall quickly became deserted. Only Qin Feng's 6-man exploration team was left. Hero Azure Wolf. White Cloud didn't think much of Qin Feng before. He didn't expect this person to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. White Cloud's face, hidden under his white mask, turned red. He didn't even know how to address Azure Wolf. Senior White Cloud, I'm much younger than you. Don't call me hero, just call me Azure Wolf. Qin Feng interrupted White Cloud's words. Although White Cloud was hesitant at the crucial moment, he still stood up in the end. Moreover, when Qin Feng and Hua Yan were in danger in the sky pit, White Cloud also helped them. There was no need for Qin Feng to be too distant in front of him. White Cloud's heart was slightly warmed. With Azure Wolf's strength, even if White Cloud called him hero, it wouldn't be too much. However, Azure Wolf was really humble. This gave White Cloud a way out of this embarrassing situation. Azure Wolf, Billowy Lady, Wen Yiming, Ice Fairy Yao Yao. White Cloud glanced at everyone present and solemnly called out everyone's name. After a short pause, he continued. This time, I'm the one who organized everyone to explore the ruins. I didn't expect snobbish people like Chinernyang and Golden Spear to sneak into the exploration team. I feel guilty for the Ame sect disciple who died. I hope everyone can forgive me. White Cloud was still a very responsible person. This time, it wasn't his fault. This kind of team mission issued by the Martial Art Alliance was completely voluntary. During the course of the mission, many teams fought and killed each other because of the distribution of treasures. For White Cloud to do this was already beyond his responsibility. P.S. Those who want to watch the pirated version can switch to Zongheng Chinese Network to watch the original version. Every month, you can watch it for only 5 yuan. It's very, very, very important. Everyone can tip less, but please don't stop. I sincerely thank everyone. Chapter 680. No one hated White Cloud. Now that White Cloud admitted his mistake, everyone was willing to forgive him. Senior White Cloud, this is not your fault. Don't blame yourself. Golden Spear and Chinernyang have been killed. We have avenged Ame Sec's junior sister. May she rest in peace. Qin Feng took the initiative to speak, and the others nodded. Initially, Ame Sec's priestess Miju was still a little resentful. After all, the one who died was her favorite direct disciple. However, after seeing everyone's reaction, Priestess Miju knew that she couldn't blame them for this matter. Just as Qin Feng had said, Chen Nyang and Golden Spear, the two bad guys, had been killed, so this matter should end here. Iceberg Maiden, these are all the treasures I got from my adventure. Take them as my gift to that junior sister. Take them. White Cloud came to Nun Miju's side in a flash and gave her all his treasures. Nun Miju was as cold as frost along the way. She looked like she was difficult to talk to, but she was a typical woman with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. She shook her head with a cold face and said, "Keep the treasures. I don't want them." White Cloud didn't seem to hear Nun Miju and forced the treasures into her hand. When White Cloud's thick and rough old palm touched Nun Miju's delicate hand, she was so scared that she raised her horsetail whisk and almost cut off White Cloud's hand. Whoosh! There was a sound of wind breaking. What are you doing? Mijushertai's beautiful face, which had been as cold as an iceberg for 10,000 years, underwent some changes. Unexpectedly, a hint of redness flashed across her face, stunning everyone. Fortunately, White Cloud was powerful. If it was someone else, they wouldn't have been able to dodge Nun Miju's sudden attack. White Cloud was stunned. He was also shocked by the old Taoist nun's fierce reaction. After a long time, he suddenly laughed and said, "Okay, I've given you all the treasures. Keep them safe. This adventure is considered complete. I'll leave first. See you later." White Cloud's hearty laughter still echoed in the hall, but his figure had already disappeared. After White Cloud left, Nun Miju became a little absent-minded. The blush on her ice-cold face hadn't disappeared. No one knew what she was thinking. "I'm leaving too. Brother Green Wolf, see you later." When Yiming also left, saying goodbye to Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at the empty spot where Wen Yiming had been standing and said to the air, "See you again." Abyss Annihilation regained her senses after two people left. She didn't say anything. She nodded at Qin Feng and the rest before leaving the ancient martial ruins. Only Qin Feng, Hua Yan, and Ren Xiaoyao were left in the hall. The reason why Ren Xiaoyao hadn't left until now was because Qin Feng had bumped into her chest in Martial Artist Town. He had even slandered her, and insisted that Ren Xiaoyao had hit his head with her chest. This matter had been weighing on Ren Xiaoyao's heart for a long time. Ren Xiaoyao wanted to take revenge on Qin Feng, but Qin Feng's strength was too powerful. Ren Xiaoyao had a belly full of resentment, but she couldn't vent it. "Chick, why haven't you left yet? Could it be that you've taken a fancy to me and want to stay and be my servant?" Qin Feng could see Little Demon's delicate and pretty face under the avatar mask. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that she blew her beard and glared at him. She looked extremely adorable. Of course, Qin Feng knew why she was angry. "You! What nonsense are you talking about? If you dare to spout nonsense again, I—" Ren Xiaoyao wanted to threaten Qin Feng, but she remembered that Green Wolf was an expert of the true Qi stage. She couldn't find any words to threaten Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at this girl who was so angry that her face turned red. She pouted and looked like she wanted to bite him to death. It was really fun. You! What are you? Your figure is not bad, and your looks are not bad. Why are you stuttering? Sigh. What a pity. But you can be my servant. You can massage my shoulders and back. At night you can fetch water to wash my feet and warm my bed. Think about it." Qin Feng looked at Ren Xiaoyao with a smile. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that her body was about to explode. When Hua Yan saw Qin Feng flirting with another girl in front of her, she angrily pinched Qin Feng's waist. She said coldly, "Green Wolf, are you leaving or not?" Qin Feng felt pain from the pinch. He pulled Hua Yan into his arms and stopped her from moving. Ren Xiaoyao was inexperienced. When she saw this intimate scene, she was so embarrassed that she felt uncomfortable. You shameless bastard!" Ren Xiaoyao knew she couldn't beat Qin Feng, so she immediately ran away with Hua Yan. Hua Yan originally sympathized with Ren Xiaoyao. She quarreled with Qin Feng for no reason. Wasn't she looking for trouble? But when she heard she was also scolded, Hua Yan was unhappy. "You little girl, you want to run after scolding me? Do you think you can run away?" Without Hua Yan's help, Qin Feng grabbed Ren Xiaoyao. Ren Xiaoyao struggled with all her might, but she couldn't break free from Qin Feng's big hand. Whoosh! Suddenly, a white light flashed. Qin Feng's expression changed. He pushed Hua Yan away with his left hand and raised his right hand. The Chongling sword flew up and collided with the white sword in Ren Xiaoyao's hand. Clang! The sound of metal clashing resounded in the air. After the two swords collided, they each took 3 steps back. This move was actually a tie. Qin Feng and Ren Xiaoyao looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. Qin Feng had sparred with Ren Xiaoyao before. Ren Xiaoyao was a stage 7 energy cultivator, so Qin Feng should have been able to defeat her in one strike. He didn't expect this girl's swordsmanship to be so powerful. Ren Xiaoyao was even more surprised. Isn't this green wolf an expert of the true energy stage? Why is he so weak? Aren't you at the true energy stage? Your true energy is long gone, and you clearly used your energy just now. Ren Xiaoyao questioned Qin Feng. She was confused. Little girl, it seems like you're very interested in me. Then I can only leave you here and let you get to know me slowly. Hee hee hee. Qin Feng pretended to be vulgar, and the cave was filled with his creepy laughter. Ren Xiaoyao was so disgusted that she almost vomited. Although she couldn't see Qin Feng's face under the wolf mask, she knew it must be ugly and vulgar. How dare you insult me? Watch my sword! Ren Xiaoyao was also hot-tempered. She swung her sword again. Billowy lady, don't move. I'll do it myself. Qin Feng didn't need to turn his head to know that Hua Yan was ready to fight. Although Ren Xiaoyao was a stage 7 energy cultivator, her attack power was comparable to a stage 8 energy cultivator. Qin Feng didn't want Hua Yan to get hurt. Whoosh! The sound of a sword resonated in the air. Ren Xiaoyao flew into the air and swung her sword gracefully. Her speed wasn't fast, but it was graceful and beautiful as if she was dancing. Ren Xiaoyao's sword technique was profound and exquisite. After a few simple swings of her sword, layers of sword barriers appeared around her. Her clothes and long hair fluttered in the wind, and a crescent moon appeared behind her. Coupled with Ren Xiaoyao's slim and sexy body, she looked like a beautiful warrior going into battle. All that was missing was a sentence. In the name of the moon, I will destroy you! Rumble! Qin Feng was in a daze as he admired this set of sword techniques. Qin Feng only regained his senses when he felt a powerful sword chi rushing towards him. He raised the Chongling sword and thrust it into the air. Shy Moon sword technique! Solitary 9 swords! Both sets of sword techniques were profound and mysterious. Their moves were simple and light. The two powerful sword chi collided with each other, causing the ground to shake and the mountains to shake. The cave was shaking, rocks rolled down, and dust rose into the air. It was as if doomsday was coming. Bang! 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 The remaining power of the sword chi was not to be underestimated. Explosions sounded everywhere in the air. Qin Feng and Ren Xiaoyao were forced to retreat, not daring to get close to the center of the explosion. Green Wolf, are you all right? Qin Feng retreated to Hua Yan's side. Hua Yan immediately came to check on Qin Feng's injuries. Seeing Qin Feng's hair was messed up, Hua Yan was unhappy. She drew out the blood shadow whip from her waist and lashed it at Qin Feng. How dare you hit my man? I'll kill you! Crackle! Hua Yan's long whip was like a bolt of lightning striking down. A blue shadow appeared in the air. The shadow of the whip condensed automatically. When it was about to reach Ren Xiaoyao, it turned into several ice blades and stabbed at her. You're a demonic cultivator? Ren Xiaoyao exclaimed. However, she quickly calmed down. She raised the long sword in her hand slightly, and a crescent moon appeared behind her. Several crescent moon swords she shot out, shattering the ice blades. Humph! How dare you come here to die with such puny skills? I won't hold back then. Ren Xiaoyao was really angry that she was being attacked by the two of them. She raised the long sword in her hand again, and the light sword strike had the power to split a mountain. A condensed crescent sword light whizzed past. You're asking for it! Hua Yan did not waste any more time and raised her whip again. This time, the blue light turned into a red shadow. When the red shadow of the whip fell, it turned into several flames that rained down on Ren Xiaoyao's head. What's this? A demonic cultivator with dual attributes of ice and fire? How is this possible? Ren Xiaoyao was so shocked that she forgot to dodge. She only regained her senses when the flames fell on her and burned her clothes. Hua Yan's expression became even more solemn. She could feel the intense killing intent from the crescent moon sword chi. It even stunned her demonic chi. Hua Yan wanted to dodge, but her speed became slower. Rumble! The gigantic crescent moon sword chi descended rapidly, directly smashing a 10-meter-long ravine into the ground. Hua Yan was lying in Qin Feng's arms. She was touched by the feeling of being hugged tightly by Qin Feng. "You're such a disobedient girl. Didn't I tell you not to fight? What's wrong with you?" Qin Feng landed on the ground and complained to Hua Yan. Hua Yan was not angry when she was scolded. Instead, she felt a surge of warmth in her heart. She hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly and refused to let go. You shameless couple! You're making me so angry!" More than half of Ren Xiaoyao's clothes were burned by the flames. Her upper body was now covered in a net. Her red brow was slightly exposed. Paired with her avatar mask, she looked wild and beautiful. As the daughter of the Saint Medic Hall, Ren Xiaoyao was spoiled and willful. Today, she was tricked by Qin Feng and Hua Yan. She was so angry that she almost cried. "Little girl, what's the meaning of this? I'm taking you in as my maidservant. You'll be a proper maidservant. Don't try to get into my good books. I won't fall for it." Qin Feng added insult to injury. Ren Xiaoyao's delicate body began to tremble. "Green Wolf, why you're making me so angry? You better apologize to me." Ren Xiaoyao pouted and glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng thought that this girl must have been so angry that she wanted him to apologize to her. "It's impossible for me to apologize. You hit my head with your chest the last time we met. This time, you even tore your clothes. You're such a scheming woman. I'll stay away from you in the future." Every word Qin Feng said was like a sharp arrow that pierced Ren Xiaoyao's heart. Ren Xiaoyao was not good with words. Now that she met Qin Feng's silver tongue, she felt miserable. "Eh? Billowy lady, what's that spiritual herb in your pocket?" Chapter 681. Qin Feng and Hua Yan did not expect Ren Xiaoyao to suddenly care about something else. Hua Yan subconsciously touched her pocket and felt the purple wisteria flower that she found on the wall of the crater. This flower was the main ingredient for refining a 5th-grade elixir that the demon clan needed. Hua Yan immediately became vigilant. "Why do you care what it is? It's not yours anyway." Hua Yan pressed the purple wisteria flower and stared at Ren Xiaoyao arrogantly. "That's the purple wisteria flower?" Ren Xiaoyao exclaimed. For a moment, she forgot that she was angered by Qin Feng and Hua Yan. "You know this flower too? What are you trying to do?" Hua Yan's expression changed drastically. She hid behind Qin Feng and looked at Ren Xiaoyao. Hua Yan's words were equivalent to admitting the purple wisteria flower. Ren Xiaoyao's beautiful eyes flickered. After a moment of silence, she said, "Since you found the purple wisteria flower in this ancient martial relic, I'm willing to exchange it with my treasures. I'm willing to exchange my treasures with you. What do you think?" As Ren Xiaoyao spoke, she impatiently threw out all the treasures she had on her. This girl was really good at finding treasures. She had many treasures on her, even more than Chunyang. "There are secret manuals, weapons, elixirs, spiritual herbs, and all kinds of materials here. You can take them all. I only want your purple wisteria flower. Moreover, we'll write off our previous debts. What do you think?" Hua Yan was like a bad uncle who was trying to trick a young girl. Hua Yan did not even look at the treasures on the ground. She said firmly, "Stop dreaming. I won't exchange it with you." Ren Xiaoyao did not expect Hua Yan to not be tempted. She began to feel anxious and searched her body again. In the end, she took out more than 10 exquisite small medicine bottles. "This bottle contains the refreshing pill. There are 8 of them. Do you want to exchange it with me?" Ren Xiaoyao was anxious. She took out the miraculous pills produced by her family's Saint Medic to tempt Hua Yan. These miraculous pills were extremely expensive in the Saint Medic. Moreover, the supply could not meet the demand. Ren Xiaoyao was arrogant. She did not believe that Hua Yan would not be tempted this time. As a rank 3 alchemist, Hua Yan really didn't care about this rank 1 wonder pill, let alone Qin Feng. Qin Feng waved his hand, and 2 invigorating pills and 2 healing pills appeared in his hand. He tossed 2 pills into his mouth and pried open Hua Yan's mouth and tossed 2 pills into her mouth. He looked at Ren Xiaoyao as if he was munching on a bubble. Don't use elixirs to put on a show. We really don't lack these things. Hua Yan didn't know what Qin Feng had thrown at her, but after tasting it with her tongue, she knew it was a miraculous first-grade pill. Only then did Hua Yan eat it with ease. Ren Xiaoyao was dumbfounded. She suddenly thought of the first time she met Qing Lang in the Saint Medicine Hall. At that time, Qing Lang had brought along a damn fatty. At that time, Qing Lang had taken out many pills. Now, it seemed that this guy was really an alchemist. Otherwise, how could he have so many pills on him? Even the heiress of the Holy Medicine Hall, Ren Xiaoyao, couldn't do something like eating a first-grade miraculous pill like it was bubble gum. Are you purposely trying to anger me? Do you think that I can't take out top-grade elixirs? Watch carefully for this young miss. Ren Xiaoyao was infuriated by Qin Feng. She waved her hand and kept the dozen or so bottles, leaving only the 3 most exquisite bottles in her hand. Ren Xiaoyao lifted her jade-like hand and opened one of the bottles. Instantly, a rich fragrance of medicine wafted in the air. Qin Feng and Hua Yan immediately recognized the aroma of the elixirs. Humph! Brat, look carefully. This bottle contains second-grade blood qi pills. There are 7 blood qi pills in one bottle. I'll use this bottle of pills to exchange for the purple wisteria flower. Is that okay? Ren Xiaoyao raised her head again and looked at Qin Feng and Hua Yan arrogantly. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He raised his hand again, and 2 fiery red blood qi pills appeared in his palm. Qin Feng's blood qi pills were bigger than the ones Ren Xiaoyao took out. They had a brighter color and a richer fragrance. Qin Feng was about to stuff 1 blood qi pill into his and Hua Yan's mouths. Hua Yan was so scared that she almost fell to the ground. She hastily pulled Qin Feng back. Don't eat it. Don't give it to me either. It's poisonous. I don't want to eat it. Hua Yan was terrified of the blood qi pills. Not long ago, she had lost her virginity because of the blood qi pills she refined. How would she dare to eat the blood qi pills again? Hua Yan did not dare to let Qin Feng eat it. It was already bad enough that Qin Feng did not eat the blood qi pills. If he ate the blood qi pills as well, she would lose her life. Watching Qin Feng and Hua Yan fooling around with each other, Ren Xiaoyao had the urge to kill herself. Ren Xiaoyao had always been proud of her identity as the young mistress of Saint Medic Hall. As a martial artist, medicinal pills and weapons were indispensable. Since young, Ren Xiaoyao had never lacked medicinal pills. She could get any medicinal pills that were beneficial to her cultivation. However, after seeing Green Wolf and Billowy Lady today, Ren Xiaoyao's proud heart was shattered into pieces. Although Ren Xiaoyao had eaten a lot of grade 2 blood qi pills, Hua Yan refused to eat it because she said it was poisonous. Qin Feng even refused to eat the blood qi pills. Ren Xiaoyao's confidence had been shattered. Huff! Ren Xiaoyao took a deep breath and tried her best to calm down. She took out a pill bottle and opened it. Ren Xiaoyao poured out a pill. It was a dark green pill that was as big as an apricot. It was round and round. Qin Feng glanced at it and almost laughed out loud. This time, Qin Feng did not need Ren Xiaoyao to introduce it. He waved his hand and 2 qi-strengthening pills appeared. Billowy Lady, you are stuck at the bottleneck of a stage 5 demon cultivator, right? Take these 2 qi-strengthening pills. They will definitely help you break through to the peak of stage 6 demon cultivator. Qin Feng didn't even blink when he gave away the grade 4 qi-stabilizing pill. He gave away 2 of them in one go. Ren Xiaoyao opened her mouth slightly. She was about to introduce the qi-strengthening pills to Qin Feng. After all, it was a spiritual pill. Miraculous pills below grade 4 could not be compared to it. However, when Ren Xiaoyao was about to say it, she could not say it anymore. Thank you so much, Green Wolf. I was going to collect some medicinal ingredients to refine a cauldron of qi-strengthening pills. I didn't expect you to get your hands on them. Hua Yan was overjoyed. She hugged Qin Feng and jumped up and down. Qin Feng felt something soft bouncing on his body. It was a wonderful feeling. While Qin Feng and Hua Yan were flirting with each other, Ren Xiaoyao was ignored. She was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Ren Xiaoyao's arrogance instantly vanished. She finally realized that Green Wolf and Billowy Lady were both alchemists. There were very few alchemists in China, so why did two of them suddenly jump out today? Moreover, they seemed to be high-ranked alchemists. Ren Xiaoyao didn't know if she should be happy or angry. There was only one small pill bottle left in Ren Xiaoyao's hand. This pill bottle was smaller and more exquisite than all the previous ones. However, Ren Xiaoyao could no longer maintain her arrogance. When she opened the last pill bottle, there was no trace of emotion in it. The moment the bottle was opened, the aroma of medicine filled the air. The aroma was rich and pure, and it instantly enveloped the entire hall. Qin Feng and Hua Yan widened their eyes. This was because this pill bottle was obviously better than the previous ones. The spiritual energy released by the pill instantly increased the density of the spiritual energy in the hall. This is a 5th-grade spiritual pill, the essence-gathering pill. This is also the best spiritual pill I have with me today. Originally, there were 3 pills in the bottle. I used 2 of them to break through to the next realm. As for the last pill, I'll use this essence-gathering pill to exchange for your purple creeping vine flower. Are you willing to accept this? Ren Xiaoyao said with a lack of confidence. She was truly shocked by Qin Feng's performance earlier. In fact, the purple creeping vine flower was one of the 3 main ingredients used to concoct the violent demon pill. The violent demon pill was a 5th-grade spiritual pill. Ren Xiaoyao used another 5th-grade spiritual pill to exchange for a purple creeping vine flower. In fact, it could even be said that Qin Feng had profited. After all, even if he had the purple creeping vine flower, he might not be able to concoct the violent demon pill. On the other hand, the essence-gathering pill that Ren Xiaoyao gave him was indeed a 5th-grade spiritual pill. However, Ren Xiaoyao was not confident. She felt that Green Wolf was a very powerful alchemist. He probably didn't even care about 5th-grade spiritual pills. Ren Xiaoyao completely misunderstood Qin Feng. Qin Feng was a 4th-grade alchemist, and Hua Yan was only a 3rd-grade alchemist. Neither of them could concoct a 5th-grade essence-gathering pill. Qin Feng only had a few 1st-grade elixirs on him. Coincidentally, he also had a few blood qi pills that Hua Yan had concocted. Qin Feng also concocted a few qi-strengthening pills after he became a 4th-grade alchemist not long ago. Now that Ren Xiaoyao suddenly took out the essence-gathering pill, Qin Feng was very envious. Ahem. So it's the essence-gathering pill. Your pills are just SOSO. I have them all, but I'm too lazy to take them out. Qin Feng pretended to be indifferent. Ren Xiaoyao's expression instantly became disappointed. She guessed that Qin Feng didn't care about the essence-gathering pill. Qin Feng continued. However, since you're a member of our exploration team, I can exchange with you if you really want the purple creeping vine flower. Ren Xiaoyao's disappointment disappeared instantly. She jumped up excitedly. Really? You're willing to exchange the purple creeping vine flower for my essence-gathering pill? Qin Feng said calmly. You're thinking too much. It's just one essence-gathering pill. It's not worth that much. Of course, if you're willing to take out all the pills you have, I can consider exchanging with you. One essence-gathering pill for one purple creeping vine flower was already a profit, but Qin Feng wasn't satisfied. He was asking for too much. Not only was Ren Xiaoyao frightened, but even Hua Yan was stunned. This Qin Feng was really shameless, but Hua Yan liked it very much. Ren Xiaoyao angrily glared at Qin Feng. She felt that Green Wolf was too much of a scammer. However, Ren Xiaoyao really needed the purple creeping vine flower because the same medic hall didn't have enough ingredients to refine the violent demon pill. Okay, I agree. After hesitating for a long time, Ren Xiaoyao agreed. After all, The Saint Medic still had the pills she had, but the Saint Medic couldn't find the purple creeping vine flower in a short time. Very well. Give me the pills first, Qin Feng said calmly. When Ren Xiaoyao was about to throw the pill bottle at Qin Feng, she suddenly said, No, you should give me the purple creeping vine flower first. What if you take the pills and leave? Qin Feng's face darkened, and he snorted. TSK. Do you think I care about your stupid pills? I've already said that I'm kind enough to trade with you because you want the purple creeping vine flower. Alright, I'm in a bad mood now, so I don't want to trade anymore. Billowy lady, let's go. Qin Feng hugged Huayan's slender waist and walked out. Ren Xiaoyao panicked and chased after him. Green Wolf, don't be angry. I was just joking. I'll give you the pill bottle first, Ren Xiaoyao said humbly, but Qin Feng ignored her. Hero Green Wolf, are you really leaving? Hey! I'll call you Master, okay? Master, do you still want to trade or not? Chapter 682. Qin Feng walked to the exit of the hall and suddenly stopped. He turned around and looked at Ren Xiaoyao. Are you sure you want to trade? You won't go back on your word this time? Qin Feng complained. Ren Xiaoyao was furious. She knew it was a loss for her to trade a dozen bottles of pills for a purple creeping vine flower, but she had no choice. She had to hold it in and smile. Haha, Hero Green Wolf, I won't do it this time. I didn't know the rules before, so please don't take offense. As Ren Xiaoyao spoke, she threw over a dozen bottles of pills. Qin Feng grabbed them and put them all in the system. Even though Qin Feng could refine pills below grade 4, he still needed hedonist points. Now that this silly girl was giving them to him for free, it would be a waste if he didn't take them. Not bad. You're very tactful this time. Qin Feng was in a good mood after receiving a dozen bottles of pills. Hero Green Wolf, can you give me my purple creeping vine flower now? Ren Xiaoyao extended her little hand towards Qin Feng. Before Qin Feng could speak, Huayan extended her hand to give the purple creeping vine flower to Ren Xiaoyao. Qin Feng slapped Huayan's butt and said resentfully, You silly girl, you're really giving it to me? Run! Whoosh! As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he turned into a gust of wind and disappeared with Huayan in tow. Huayan still hadn't come back to her senses. She always thought that exchanging the purple creeping vine flower for a dozen bottles of pills was a good deal. She didn't think that Qin Feng would be such a scammer. In the end, he didn't even give Yao Yao the purple creeping vine flower. Huayan suddenly felt that she had followed the right man. She liked how Qin Feng was so generous to her, and how he scammed other women. Ren Xiaoyao was stunned. She had lived for 22 years, but she had never seen such a shameless man like Qin Feng. Qin Feng dragged Huayan away for a long time before Ren Xiaoyao came back to her senses. She looked at the empty hall and saw that she was the only one standing there. A cold wind blew through the cave, and a bleak feeling rose from the bottom of Ren Xiaoyao's heart. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that she cried. You can't bully me like this. I'm the princess of the Saint Medicine Hall. Green Wolf, you bastard, just wait and see. Phew! Qin Feng, don't run anymore. I'm exhausted. Big breasts are really a burden. That silly girl didn't catch up. Let's rest for a while. Qin Feng dragged Huayan all the way from the hall to the exit of the ruins. Huayan squatted on the ground, panting. Her heart was about to jump out of her chest. Qin Feng was also tired. He glanced at the cave and was relieved to see that Ren Xiaoyao had not caught up. Hero Green Wolf, you've finally come out! Just as the two of them squatted down, a burst of laughter came from behind them, giving Qin Feng a fright. Li Tao, Senior White Cloud. You haven't left yet? Li Tao and White Cloud were standing at the entrance of the ruins. Both of them wanted to talk to Qin Feng in private, so they pretended to leave first. In fact, they were waiting for Qin Feng at the entrance of the ruins. They waited for a long time before Qin Feng came out. White Cloud looked at Qin Feng and Huayan, who was panting heavily. A profound light flashed in his eyes. Cough, cough. Green Wolf, is that Yao Yao still in the cave? You didn't even bring her out after torturing her? She'll be fine, right? Although White Cloud was wearing a white mask, Qin Feng could see through his eyes. There was a trace of wretchedness in his eyes. Qin Feng immediately felt that something was wrong. Senior White Cloud, don't let your imagination run wild. I have nothing to do with Yao Yao. She said she wanted to stay in the ruins and search through it. Maybe she could find a treasure that others overlooked. Qin Feng casually found an excuse to hide it. Afraid that Ren Xiaoyao would chase after them, Qin Feng pulled White Cloud and Li Tao out of Ghost Mountain. It was already late at night. The moonlight outside Ghost Mountain was cold, and the wind was blowing. Most people would not dare to come to this place at night. Qin Feng and the others felt a little creepy walking on Ghost Mountain. Oh right, Senior White Cloud, why are you staying here? Is something the matter? Qin Feng saw that White Cloud had something to say, so he might as well start the conversation. White Cloud nodded, but he did not say anything. He glanced at Hua Yan and Li Tao. Qin Feng understood and followed White Cloud to the side. Now that there was no one around, Qin Feng asked, Senior White Cloud, if you have something to say, just say it. White Cloud looked around again. After confirming that no one could hear them, he lowered his voice and said, Young hero Green Wolf, you helped everyone and me this time. If I don't warn you, you won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. I suspect that the black-robed man has an illustrious identity. You have offended him this time, so be careful in the future. So White Cloud stayed behind to warn Qin Feng. This made Qin Feng feel somewhat comforted. However, Qin Feng already knew the black-robed man's identity without White Cloud's reminder. He was the Azure Dragon of China's 9 dragons. How could his identity not be illustrious? Did Senior White Cloud recognize the black-robed man? Who is he? Qin Feng pretended not to know. White Cloud's expression became serious. After a moment he said, I'm not sure who he is, but I can guess that he is one of China's 9 dragons. Qin Feng was slightly surprised. He didn't expect White Cloud to have such a rough guess. It seemed that White Cloud's identity was not low. Otherwise he would have thought it through before he dared to stand up against Qin Feng when he guessed that the black-robed man was one of China's 9 dragons. I see. Qin Feng nodded slightly. White Cloud's expression changed. Huh! Young hero Green Wolf, aren't you afraid? Oh yeah, I'm so scared. Qin Feng was almost exposed. He quickly pretended to be afraid, but he didn't look like one at all. It was as if he was laughing at China's 9 dragons. White Cloud was shocked, but he quickly regained his composure. Green Wolf was a true Qi stage powerhouse, so it was normal for him not to be afraid of China's 9 dragons. It was said that 7 of China's 9 dragons were stage 9 inner Qi stage powerhouses. The other 2 dragons were very special. Rumor had it that one of them was half a step into the cultivation stage, and the other had condensed true Qi and completely comprehended the path of cultivation. Of course, these were all rumors. How many people had actually seen China's 9 dragons? And there was probably not a single person who could see all 9 dragons, right? Hee hee! It seems like this old man is worrying for nothing. Young hero Green Wolf is so young, but you've already stepped into the cultivation stage. China is going to change. I'll take my leave first. This time, I'm really leaving. White Cloud cupped his fist and bowed to Qin Feng. Qin Feng returned the gesture. When he raised his head, White Cloud was already out of sight. Since White Cloud was gone, Qin Feng quickly returned to where Hua Yan and Li Tao were waiting for him. As soon as he arrived, he saw Hua Yan scolding Li Tao. You damned sissy! Get lost! Don't come near me! Big sister cat girl, I just want to be your good sister. Why are you so mean to me? Li Tao was acting coquettishly. Hua Yan was so disgusted that she was about to vomit. She immediately shot out an ice ball at Li Tao. Li Tao quickly dodged it. After dodging the ice ball, Li Tao was not angry and continued to chase after Hua Yan. Li Tao, are you looking for me? Qin Feng couldn't stand it anymore and called out to Li Tao. When Hua Yan and Li Tao saw Qin Feng, they ran up to him excitedly. Green Wolf, help me take care of this sissy. He's crazy, but he wants to be my best friend. Hua Yan was a very loyal and conservative woman. Ever since she became Qin Feng's woman in the cave, Hua Yan had changed Qin Feng's position in her heart. Now that she was angry, Hua Yan wanted to find her man to help her vent her anger. Qin Feng patted Hua Yan's head to comfort her. Li Tao didn't argue with Hua Yan anymore. He looked at Qin Feng with a smile and said, Hero Green Wolf, you're really amazing. You've reached the true Qi stage. I really admire you. No, I already have a Prince Charming Qin Feng, but I still admire you. What should I do? Am I a woman who doesn't follow the chastity of a woman? I'm not good. What should I do? Li Tao looked at Qin Feng like a little girl who just had her first awakening of love. Qin Feng almost sent Li Tao flying with a kick. Hua Yan glared at Li Tao with hostility and jealousy. Hua Yan didn't know why she was jealous because of a man. If you're not looking for me, then I'll leave first. Qin Feng pulled Hua Yan and left. Li Tao was too disgusting. What did this brat do in his previous life? In this life, fate arranged for him to cultivate the little chrysanthemum treasure book. Li Tao hurriedly caught up and said coquettishly, Hero Green Wolf, don't be angry. I'm staying because I want you to take me to Prince Charming Qin Feng. Qin Feng liked it when people called him Prince Charming. However, when he heard Li Tao call him Prince Charming, Qin Feng refused in his heart. Li Tao, don't follow me. I don't know where Qin Feng is right now. I'll tell you when I have news. That's right, you should need this secret manual. There are also a few bottles of medicinal pills for you. Go back and cultivate well. I wish you success. Qin Feng threw away the second volume of the little chrysanthemum treasure book and the medicinal pills found in the secret room and gave them to Li Tao. Qin Feng felt that these things were burning his hands. Li Tao looked at the second volume of the little chrysanthemum treasure book in his hand and was stunned. He had already finished cultivating the first volume and was looking for the second volume. This time, Li Tao came to search for the second volume of the little chrysanthemum treasure book. He didn't think that he would actually find it. Li Tao was extremely moved. He had a strong impulse to give himself to Green Wolf to repay his kindness. However, when Li Tao raised his head, Qin Feng and Hua Yan were long gone. Hey! You damned sissy, did you see Green Wolf, that dog couple? Suddenly, an angry shout came from behind Li Tao. It was little Demon Ren who rushed out with the waning moon's sword. Li Tao had just received the secret book from Green Wolf, and his heart was about to belong to Green Wolf. Now that someone wanted to cause trouble for Green Wolf, Li Tao was extremely angry. Woman, why are you making a fuss? You're not feminine at all. Come, Big Sister will teach you how to be a tasteful woman. Follow Big Sister's movements and learn. Li Tao made a flirtatious gesture with his thumb and middle fingers. Little Demon Ren almost vomited. You're crazy! Little Demon Ren snorted coldly. She really didn't want to talk to Li Tao, this sissy. She raised the waning moon's sword and chased after Qin Feng and Hua Yan. Seeing this, Li Tao hurriedly went to stop her. Girl, how can you be so rude? Big Sister is kind enough to teach you how to be a tasteful woman, yet you don't appreciate it. Li Tao put his hands on his hips and angrily glared at Little Demon Ren. Little Demon Ren had a stomach full of anger after being tricked by Qin Feng. This time, she exploded and the aura of a stage 7 inner chi gushed out, scaring Li Tao. You damned sissy, I'll ask you for the last time. Where did that dog couple go? Li Tao originally wanted to teach Little Demon Ren a lesson, but after seeing her strength, he immediately gave up on the idea. Ahem. Are you talking about that dog couple? They ran in that direction, Li Tao said as he pointed in the direction opposite to Qin Feng and Hua Yan. Little Demon Ren glared at Li Tao and walked away with her sword. Humph! At least you know what's good for you, I'll spare your life. Chapter 683. At this moment, all the adventurers had left. Some were happy, and some were angry. However, the only person who was angry was Ren Xiaoyao. She was really angered to death. Qin Feng and Hua Yan had returned to the city and went straight to Chang Xian's villa. Hua Yan knew Qin Feng was Green Wolf, so it was easy for her to bring him back. It was almost dawn when they returned to the villa. Chang Xian was still sleeping, so they went straight to Hua Yan's room. Yan, are you willing to join the Hero Alliance? Qin Feng asked as soon as he entered the room. Hua Yan was a Stage 5 demon cultivator, and her strength was equivalent to a Stage 6 inner chi cultivator. She was qualified to join the Hero Alliance. Since Hua Yan had become Qin Feng's woman, she was not shy at all. She took off her clothes and climbed onto the bed. She looked at Qin Feng with a silly expression and said, "What Hero Alliance? I don't know how to play games. Are you going to take me to a tournament? Forget it. I'm definitely a pig-like teammate that you guys always talk about." The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He wondered if he should change the name of the Hero Alliance. It's not a game. It's a sect that I built. Just agree to it. Qin Feng looked at Hua Yan's beautiful body and suppressed the fire in his heart. He wanted to recruit Hua Yan into the Hero Alliance first before dealing with this little vixen. Oh, okay then. I'll join. Hua Yan was Qin Feng's woman, so she was more than happy to join the sect that her man built. Call! As soon as Hua Yan finished her words, a phoenix cry came from the dragon and phoenix rankings in the Hero Alliance. The fire phoenix that was hovering on the right side of the dragon and phoenix rankings suddenly let out a long cry as if it was about to fly away. The dazzling dragon and phoenix rankings suddenly separated into two. Qin Feng, the two heroes, and Li Xingtian's names were listed on the dragon ranking, while Hua Yan's name appeared on the top of the phoenix ranking. The founder's second side mission required Qin Feng to recruit 10 Stage 6 Inner Chi disciples. Including Hua Yan, Qin Feng had already recruited 3 disciples. Hua Yan suddenly screamed and jumped into Qin Feng's arms. The moment her name appeared on the phoenix ranking, a phoenix cry rang out in her head, giving her a fright. Qin Feng, what just happened? I heard the cry of a phoenix. Am I possessed? Hua Yan couldn't understand what was happening. Qin Feng knew that it was because Hua Yan had successfully joined the Hero Rankings. However, the Hero Rankings were still at the Brass Alliance level. If he spent 50,000 hedonist points, he would be able to upgrade it to the Silver Alliance level. The Silver Alliance Hero Rankings would be able to communicate with each other. As long as one joined the Hero Alliance, no matter where they were, they would be able to sense the existence of the Hero Alliance and communicate with each other. At this moment, Hua Yan was lying in Qin Feng's arms like a pitiful kitten. What entered Qin Feng's eyes was snow white, his nose was filled with a fragrant scent, and his hand was filled with a ball of softness. Yan, why are you afraid of the phoenix's cry? Your cry is much louder than the phoenix's. Qin Feng laughed evilly and pounced on her. Hua Yan was so scared that she wanted to resist, but she was quickly intoxicated by Qin Feng's warm and strong embrace. After an unknown period of time, the noise in the room became louder and louder. It felt like the entire villa was shaking violently, waking Chang Xian up from her sweet dream. The first thing she thought of when she woke up was an earthquake. Soon, Chang Xian was wide awake. She realized that it wasn't an earthquake because she heard Hua Yan's strange cry from the room next door. Why does it sound like that? Chang Xian was so shocked that she jumped off the bed. She didn't even have time to put on her clothes. She rushed to Hua Yan's door and heard Hua Yan's cry. She could even hear a familiar male voice. Chang Xian had lived with Hua Yan for a long time, but she didn't know when Hua Yan had a boyfriend. How could she bring a man home? How could she do such a thing? Chang Xian was a little angry. She had always treated Hua Yan like her own little sister. When Qin Feng first moved into the villa, Chang Xian had scolded Qin Feng countless times for bullying Hua Yan. Why did such a well-behaved little sister become so frivolous all of a sudden? Her cry was so unpleasant that it made Chang Xian's heart palpitate. Chang Xian stood at the door for a long time. She couldn't bear it anymore. She turned around and was about to leave, but she stopped after a few steps. Chang Xian had never experienced such a thing in her life. She didn't expect Yan Yan to be the first one to try it out. Young people nowadays are really something. No, Yan Yan is my dear little sister. I have to help her. If this man isn't good enough, I'll persuade Yan Yan to break up with him. Chang Xian found an excuse to convince herself. Then, like a thief, she tiptoed to the door and tried to open it. Clack! Chang Xian twisted the door, but it didn't open. It was locked from the inside. However, this wasn't a problem for Chang Xian since she was the landlord. She kept a spare key for Hua Yan's room. A few moments later, Chang Xian ran back with the key in her hand. Her heart was beating wildly as if she was going to steal something. She was nervous, scared, and excited. Chang Xian inserted the key into the keyhole and twisted it. With a click, the door's lock was unlocked. Chang Xian's heart almost jumped out of her throat. The sound of the door being unlocked was loud, but it was drowned out by Hua Yan's cries. No one in the room noticed it at all. Chang Xian was only wearing a thin silk nightgown. Under the sunlight, the scenery underneath the nightgown was faintly discernible. She patted her chest, causing her large breasts to shake. She exhaled a few mouthfuls of turbid air and finally calmed down. Then, she slowly opened the door. Bang! As soon as the door was opened, Chang Xian was stunned by the scene before her. She slipped and rolled into Hua Yan's room. While Hua Yan and Qin Feng were enjoying themselves, they suddenly stopped and stared at Chang Xian, who had rolled all the way to the edge of the bed, with astonished expressions. The atmosphere in the room froze, and the whole room froze. Qin Feng and Hua Yan did not dare to move an inch. They maintained the difficult posture. Chang Xian did not even dare to lift her head. She felt that she had been humiliated. Sister! Sister Chang Xian! What are you doing? Hua Yan stuttered when she finally regained her senses. Chang Xian instinctively lifted her head and screamed in fear. She did not see the man's face clearly earlier. Now that she had a clear view of him, she felt uneasy. Qin Feng! When did you come back? Chang Xian had been looking for Qin Feng. She did not expect that Qin Feng would suddenly appear in her villa and do that with Hua Yan. After Qin Feng returned from his adventure, he had reverted to his original appearance. He did not plan to reveal his identity as Xiao Feng to Hua Yan. It was not because he did not trust Hua Yan, but because he did not want to bring trouble to Hua Yan. Chang Xian stared at Qin Feng and Hua Yan with her mouth agape. Both of them were embarrassed. This was a very difficult action for the two of them. It was difficult to even pull a blanket over them, so they could only maintain it. Qin Feng couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't move at all. It was torture. Qin Feng smiled at Chang Xian and said, Xian, long time no see. Did you miss me? Do you want to come with me? Chang Xian nodded. Chang Xian finally regained her senses and realized the situation she was in. She shrieked and ran out of Hua Yan's room in fright. Qin Feng and Hua Yan heaved a long sigh of relief after Chang Xian left. Hua Yan wanted to get down from the bed, but Qin Feng refused. What are you doing? Hua Yan stared at Qin Feng in astonishment. Of course I'm going to continue. Ah? Sister Chang Xian found out. Aren't you afraid that she will kill you? So what if she found out? We did it willingly. What does it have to do with her? If she wants to do it, she can do it, Qin Feng said matter-of-factly. Hua Yan screamed again. She panted and said, You are so bad. Sister Chang Xian seems to like you too. I'm embarrassed to see her in the future. Sigh. Sister Chang Xian must hate me to death. Qin Feng did not mind at all. He smiled and said, That's easy. You can help me win Chang Xian's heart. You two will still be good sisters in the future. Hua Yan was enlightened. She shouted excitedly, That's right! That's a good idea! I'll give it a try. Chang Xian stumbled all the way back to her room. She felt as if her whole body was on fire when she recalled what she saw. The commotion in the room next door started again. Chang Xian was almost tortured to death by Qin Feng and Hua Yan. She wanted to go to the kitchen and chop Qin Feng into pieces. However, she did not even have the courage to enter Hua Yan's room. Chang Xian sat on the edge of the bed, and the light in her eyes dimmed as if her soul had been sucked out of her body. She had fallen in love with Qin Feng, and the time they spent together in the villa was warm and happy. After that, Qin Feng taught Chang Xian how to use the Needle of Destiny, and he even saved Chang Xian at a bar. It was also because he saved Chang Xian that he offended Xiao Shan and was expelled from the university. The past with Qin Feng flashed in Chang Xian's mind. However, all these memories were gone. The commotion in the room next door was getting louder and louder. Chang Xian was worried that the villa would be destroyed by the two of them. Now that Qin Feng and Hua Yan had reached this stage, Chang Xian had lost all hope. After an unknown period of time, the commotion finally died down. Chang Xian's heart that was beating wildly in her chest gradually calmed down. After a while, Chang Xian's door was pushed open. Chang Xian was startled when she saw Qin Feng walking into the room with a cheeky smile on his face. She wrapped her blanket tightly around herself. "Long time no see, beauty Chang Xian." Qin Feng swaggered to Chang Xian's bed and sat down. When Chang Xian saw Qin Feng, she was immediately reminded of their brief parting. Her cheeks flushed red. What are you doing in my room? Get out of here. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Why are you chasing me away? You're being too unkind." Qin Feng ignored Chang Xian's words and continued to sit on Chang Xian's bed. Chang Xian's body trembled in fear. Don't tell me that this beast is still not satisfied after playing with Hua Yan and wants to kill me? Oh right, didn't you want to learn how to use the Needle of Destiny? In fact, you must learn how to circulate your energy before using the Needle of Destiny. Here's a blood sheep pill for you. Once you consume it, your energy will appear in your body. After bidding farewell to Hua Yan, Qin Feng came to bid farewell to Chang Xian. Since the William family's mission was over, the Dragon Gate was holding a celebratory feast. Qin Feng had to return to his residence to attend the feast. Chang Xian stared at the fiery red pill in Qin Feng's hand. She was alarmed. What is this? It's as red as blood. Don't tell me you're trying to drug me? I won't eat it. Chang Xian's heart was still filled with resentment. Qin Feng really hooked up with Hua Yan. Moreover, the two of them even dared to have sex in the next room. Does he think I'm invisible? Qin Feng knew what Chang Xian was thinking, but he couldn't explain it in a short time. Since Hua Yan had promised Qin Feng to win Chang Xian's heart, Qin Feng didn't have to worry about it anymore. I'll leave the pill by your bed. You can eat it if you want, or throw it away if you don't. Chapter 684. Jindu City. Soaring Cloud Mansion. Dragon Sex Banquet was held here tonight. Soaring Cloud Mansion was Purple Dragon's territory. The banquet hall of Soaring Cloud Mansion was decorated with gold and jade, comparable to the palace. 2 rows of dining cars were filled with all kinds of delicacies, as well as expensive drinks and snacks. Many people had already gathered in Soaring Cloud Mansion, men and women of all kinds. These people were all members of Dragon Sect. Usually, they hid in the dark to complete difficult missions for China. Deserts, glaciers, forests, caves. There was no place that these super agents couldn't go, and there was no mission that China couldn't complete. Everyone present could be said to be extraordinary, and their contributions to Huaxiao were also fruitful. Everyone was usually very busy, and they liked this kind of celebration banquet the most. The men all wore suits and leather shoes, their hair was meticulously combed, and their shoes were polished. Most of the women wore cheongsams and skirts, and some wore evening gowns. They were either rich ladies or sexy ladies. Vice Leader Song is here! Someone suddenly exclaimed in the crowd. The people who were flirting, chatting, and eating stopped what they were doing and walked toward the entrance of Soaring Cloud Mansion. Ha ha! Vice Leader's Song, I haven't seen you for a few months, and you're getting younger. Vice Leader Song's aura changed again. It's only been a few months, did you break through again? Vice Leader Song, I'm the new member of Xian Group, Ling Tian. I'll be counting on you in the future. Song Changxing wore a well-ironed suit that covered his beer belly. As the vice leader of Dragon Sex Xian Group, his status was quite prominent. Now that he walked into the room, everyone surrounded him and fawned on him. Song Changxing enjoyed the feeling of being the center of attention, but he pretended to be calm and deep. He didn't talk to anyone, but just nodded at them as a response. Brothers of Dragon Sect, tonight is to celebrate the success of Huang Group's vice leader Yan Wu Shuang and Dragon Sect's new member Qiao Feng. Everyone eat and have a good time tonight. I hope you'll work hard to complete the missions given to you by Dragon Sect in the future. The next reward will be given to some of you. Song Changxing arrived at the very center of the hall. Only then did he raise his stance and say a few words. Everyone immediately applauded and cheered, giving Song Changxing enough face. Not long after Song Changxing arrived, 3 people walked into the Soaring Cloud Mansion, 2 men and 1 woman. The woman in the middle was tall and slender. She wore a tight black outfit that outlined the curves of her body incisively and vividly. Her purple wig was sexy and flamboyant. Many people were drooling when they saw the girl. She was the number 1 beauty of the Dragon Gate, Yan Wu Shuang. She was also one of the 4 fairies of the capital. Many people had their eyes on her, but no one had ever succeeded in getting her. As soon as Yan Wu Shuang entered the Soaring Cloud Mansion, her gaze swept across the crowd. However, she didn't see Qin Feng's figure. Suddenly, her beautiful eyes dimmed. Lei Ming, the leader of the Huang Group, and Lu Yunyun, the instructor of the Huang Group, followed Yan Wu Shuang into the room. Lei Ming had a strong body and a neat crew cut. He looked very spirited. Lu Yunyun, on the other hand, had elegant long hair. His skin was fair and tender, and his behavior was gentle and weak. He looked like a girl. As soon as the 3 of them entered the room, everyone surrounded them with a smile. Vice Leader Yan, congratulations! You've made a great contribution to the Dragon Gate this time. Vice Leader Yan, I haven't seen you for a few days. You're getting more and more beautiful. Whoever can marry Vice Leader Yan must be blessed by 8 lifetimes. Most of the people that surrounded them were trying to flirt with Yan Wu Shuang. Lei Ming and Lu Yunyun were ignored. Although their positions were 1 level higher than Yan Wu Shuang's, they couldn't do anything about it. Yan Wu Shuang's position in the Dragon Gate was small, but she was very famous. Some people walked into the Soaring Cloud Mansion one after another. However, they were all members of the Huang Group or the Xian Group. Their positions were equal, so they didn't cause a commotion like when Yan Wu Shuang and Song Changxing came in. This celebration banquet was a joint celebration between the Huang Group and the Xian Group. A leader of the Dragon Gate was needed to preside over the meeting. However, the leader of the Dragon Gate didn't come this time. It was said that Zilong of China was in charge of the meeting. Except for Zilong of China, the vice leader of the Xian Group, Song Changxing, had the highest position, followed by Lei Ming and Lu Yunyun, and then Yan Wu Shuang. At this time, the crowd was also divided into 4 groups. Each of the 4 leaders was surrounded by a group of people. However, Yan Wu Shuang was surrounded by the most people. Moreover, almost all of them were men. It was obvious that they were here to court Yan Wu Shuang. Almost all the people that should come had arrived, but the banquet hadn't started yet. Some people had already begun to whisper to each other. They didn't know who Song Changxing was waiting for, and Zilong of China hadn't shown up yet. However, the Soaring Cloud Mansion was Zilong's territory, so he was probably already there. There's someone else? Who is he? Why haven't I seen him before? He's definitely not from our Xian Group. He's not from the Huang Group either. I think he came to the wrong place. He doesn't know that the Soaring Cloud Mansion has been booked by the Dragon Sect tonight. He'll be chased away by the security guards soon. Just when everyone was discussing why the banquet hadn't started yet, a man slowly walked in from outside the door and attracted everyone's attention. The man was dressed in a white suit. He was well built and had an extraordinary temperament. However, his appearance was too ordinary. Many people looked at him over and over again, but they still couldn't remember him. Hey! You've come to the wrong place. This place has been booked by the dragon sect tonight. Get out of here, you brat! As soon as Qin Feng entered the room, a man in a black suit jumped out. It was Ling Tian, who had just been promoted to the Xian group. He was still flattering Song Changxing just now. There weren't many dragon sect banquets like this. There were only 5 or 6 banquets a year. During each banquet, everyone would try their best to show off their abilities so that the leaders and members of the groups would remember them. Seeing that Ling Tian had jumped out to show off, many people in the crowd shook their heads and sighed. Such a good opportunity to show off had been snatched away. Who booked this place? Qin Feng looked at Ling Tian with a smile. Humph. You'll be scared to death if I tell you. The Soaring Cloud Mansion has been booked by the dragon sect tonight. Get out of here, you brat. The people of the dragon sect were all arrogant. After all, the dragon sect was the most secretive organization in China. If you weren't arrogant, you would be letting down the name of the dragon sect. Ling Tian thought that Qin Feng would be scared out of his wits when he heard the 2 words dragon sect. He didn't expect Qin Feng to remain calm and said with a smile, "Oh, so it's the dragon sect who booked this place. Then I'm not in the wrong place." Everyone was stunned. Why do I feel that this brat is a bit stupid? After Ling Tian came back to his senses, his expression turned cold and he asked, "You're from the dragon sect? Why haven't I seen you before?" "I'm not from the dragon sect." "Of course you haven't seen me before," Qin Feng said as a matter of fact. Ling Tian felt that he was fooled. He was instantly enraged. "You're not from the dragon sect, and you said you're in the right place? I think you're here to look for trouble, aren't you? You're courting death by looking for trouble with the dragon sect." How could Ling Tian keep his face after being fooled in public? He roared angrily and punched at Qin Feng. Rumble! A muffled sound echoed in the air. Everyone looked at Qin Feng with schadenfreude. It was as if they could see him flying out of the hall in the next second. Suddenly, the scene changed. Ling Tian was sent flying. Qin Feng stood with his hands behind his back and looked at everyone with a smile. Bang! Ling Tian fell heavily on the ground. Just the sound of his landing was enough to make people feel pain. Ling Tian felt as if his body was about to fall apart. He spat out a mouthful of blood as soon as he got up. Everyone was dumbfounded. Their jaws dropped to the ground. This place was booked by the dragon sect tonight. How could someone be so reckless and come looking for trouble with the dragon sect? Also, Ling Tian had just been promoted from the Huang group to the Xian group. He was at the peak of stage 7 inner qi. How could he be sent flying so easily? More than half of the people present didn't even know when Qin Feng attacked. The entire Soaring Cloud Mansion fell into silence. Even the air seemed to freeze. Yan Wushuang was angry and anxious when she saw Qin Feng causing trouble as soon as he arrived. She wanted to rush up and scold Qin Feng. Song Changxing, Lei Ming, and Lu Yunyun regained their senses. They stared at Qin Feng coldly. They knew Qiao Feng was Green Wolf. Not long ago, Green Wolf killed Qin Feng, who was a stage 9 inner qi expert, with one punch. Song Changxing and the other 2 couldn't vent their anger because they were afraid that they couldn't defeat Green Wolf. Ahem! How dare you fight in the Soaring Cloud Mansion? How dare you disrupt the Dragon Sect's celebration party? Who are you? Vice Leader Song, you have to uphold justice for me. Ling Tian originally wanted to act cool in front of everyone, but in the end, he ended up being beaten into a retard. Everyone looked at Ling Tian sympathetically, but they didn't dare to say anything. Since the 4 leaders didn't say anything, how could they, the subordinates, make noise? Song Changxing felt embarrassed, but Ling Tian added a stab to his face. Now, Song Changxing had no choice but to stand up. Qiao Feng, why did you hurt him? Song Changxing's expression was cold, and his body emitted a powerful aura. Qin Feng's expression changed slightly. Song Changxing was a Stage 9 inner Qi expert. Qin Feng's understanding of Stage 9 inner Qi was blurred. Recently, he had met many Stage 9 inner Qi experts. Bai Yun was a Stage 9 inner Qi expert, and so was 9 Dragons of China. Even Song Changxing was a Stage 9 inner Qi expert. However, Qin Feng realized that there was a big difference in their strength. Bai Yun didn't dare to say anything in front of Azure Dragon, but they were all Stage 9 inner Qi experts. Song Changxing wasn't very powerful in Qin Feng's eyes. He was even confident that he could fight him to a draw. However, Song Changxing was also a Stage 9 inner Qi expert. Therefore, the Stage 9 inner Qi wasn't divided so crudely. Qin Feng felt that he should ask someone when he had time. He attacked first. I was just defending myself. Song Changxing's imposing manner intimidated many people, but it couldn't intimidate Qin Feng. Qin Feng's expression was still calm. There's a reason why I attacked. This place is reserved by the dragon sect tonight. I told you to get lost, so of course I had to attack. Ling Tian quickly quibbled. I'm here to participate in the dragon sect's celebration banquet. Why should I leave? Qin Feng curled his lips and said, You said that you're not a member of the dragon sect, so what right do you have to participate in the celebration banquet? You're obviously here to cause trouble. Ling Tian thought that Qin Feng's brain had a problem. He was confused by Qin Feng's words. Qin Feng also thought that Ling Tian was an idiot. He smiled and said, Indeed, I'm not a member of the dragon sect now. However, the dragon sect is holding a celebration banquet for me tonight. During the celebration banquet, they will officially invite me to join the dragon sect. Ling Tian almost spat out a mouthful of blood again. This time, Qin Feng didn't attack, but Ling Tian felt that his internal injuries were worse than before. The hall suddenly became noisy. Everyone discussed Qin Feng with different expressions. It turned out that this ordinary-looking man was the main character of the night. Chapter 685. Are you fucking crazy? Why didn't you make it clear from the start? Otherwise, would this have happened? Ling Tian was so angry that he yelled at the top of his lungs. Qin Feng's expression didn't change. He said calmly, You didn't ask clearly. Why should I make it clear to you? Anyway, you're the one getting beaten up, not me. I think this is pretty good. Qin Feng was strong and had a silver tongue. He definitely had the potential to dominate the martial arts world. Ling Tian was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He already regretted jumping out and acting tough. If he could do it over again, he would definitely give this chance to someone else. Humph! You're just a newbie who hasn't joined the dragon sect yet, and you dare to be so arrogant. Group leader Song, you saw it, right? Please uphold justice for me. Ling Tian knew he wasn't Qin Feng's opponent, so he asked Song Changxing to step in. The relationship within the dragon sect was complicated. Each group fought openly and secretly. When the dragon sect was first established, the Heaven, Earth, Profound, and Yellow groups didn't have different levels. Later on, because the Heaven group completed the most missions, their status became higher and higher. They became the leader of the 4 groups, followed by the Earth group. The Black and Yellow groups' mission completion rates weren't that different, but because the Black group used to be stronger than the Yellow group, the Black group was now 1 level higher than the Yellow group. Not only was Song Changxing more powerful in front of Lei Ming and Lu Yunyun, but even the members of the Black group snorted at the members of the Yellow group. The Black group's vice group leader Song Changxing had the highest status. Ling Tian didn't believe he couldn't control Qin Feng. Just wait to die, brat. Vice group leader Song, Xiao Feng just made a contribution, and as a newbie, he doesn't know some of the dragon sect's rules. I think this matter should end here. Before Song Changxing could speak, Yan Wushuang stood up. As soon as she stood up, everyone around her gasped. Yan Wushuang was famous for being a lone ranger. She did everything alone and didn't like to interact with others. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been given the title of the capital's cold fairy. Who would have thought that such a cold and heartless woman would stand up and plead with Song Changxing for a newbie like Xiao Feng? Deputy Team Leader Song, Deputy Team Leader Yan is right. Tonight is a festive day, so let's forget about this matter. Hee hee, alright, since the two heroes are here tonight, let's officially start the banquet. Tonight is the Huang Group's big day, and so many brothers from the Xian Group are here too. Let's eat, drink, and have a good time. Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming stood up. Not long ago, the two of them had allied with Song Changxing to suppress Xiao Feng in the Dragon's Gate space in martial artist town. Only a few days had passed, and the two of them immediately changed their stance. This was because they did not expect Xiao Feng to successfully complete the William family's mission. Now that Xiao Feng had brought glory to the Huang Group, the two leaders of the Huang Group naturally had to stand up for him. As the instructors and team leaders of the Huang Group, they had to swallow their anger and listen to Song Changxing. They had been unhappy for a long time, but they couldn't find a chance to retaliate. Now that the opportunity had come, the two of them immediately changed their attitude. Lei Ming didn't even ask for Song Changxing's opinion. He even specifically said that tonight was the Huang Group's celebration banquet, and that the brothers of the Xian Group were able to enjoy it because of the Huang Group. Some people understood the hidden meaning, while others didn't. However, Song Changxing clearly understood. He was suddenly thrown to the side by Lei Ming and Lu Yunyun. He was so angry that his eyeballs almost popped out. Hey! Who told you to disperse? Our deputy team leader Song hasn't said anything yet, so who said the celebration banquet has officially started? All of you stand properly! Ling Tian looked at Song Changxing's cold expression and immediately understood the situation. He had just joined the Xian Group, so he immediately wanted to express his sincerity. He helped Song Changxing yell out the words that he couldn't say. This yell scared everyone, and the cheering crowd immediately quietened down. Song Changxing was so angry that his nose was crooked. He had already been slapped in the face, so he could only swallow his anger. However, Ling Tian pulled the matter back and pushed Song Changxing to the edge of the cliff. If there wasn't anyone else here, Song Changxing really wanted to slap this idiot Ling Tian to death. Lei Ming and Lu Yunyun were slightly stunned, but very quickly, the corner of their mouth raised into a smile. They felt that it was enough to slap Song Changxing's face, or else it wouldn't look good for everyone. However, an idiot came out of the Xian Group and pushed Song Changxing's face out for them to slap. If they didn't slap him, they would be letting Ling Tian down. Eh? Deputy Team Leader Song, what do you mean by this? Do you really want to make things difficult for our Huang Group? Deputy Team Leader Song, today is the Huang Group's big day. Xiao Feng has officially joined the Dragon Gate and become a member of our Huang Group. You want to bully him again and again, don't tell me you have something against me and Instructor Lu? Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming vented out the anger they had been holding in for a long time. That feeling wasn't too good, it was even more exciting than rolling in bed. Song Changxing's face was already the color of a pig's liver. His hands behind his back were clenched into fists, and his nails had already sunk into his flesh. Ling Tian suddenly felt that something was wrong. He originally wanted to use Song Changxing's position to suppress Xiao Feng, but why did he suddenly anger the two leaders of the Huang Group? Ling Tian felt that he had made a mistake, and was so scared that his legs were trembling. He quickly thought of a way to make up for his stupidity, and said, Deputy Team Leader Song, I think what Team Leader Lei and Instructor Lu said is very reasonable. I was indeed too excited just now, I should have clearly asked Brother Xiao Feng's identity. Tonight is a celebration feast specially for Brother Xiao Feng. I apologize to Brother Xiao Feng. Also, Team Leader Lei, Instructor Lu, don't be angry. I think this matter should end here. Ling Tian didn't think that a few words of his would cause the situation to develop into a battle between the Huang Group and the Xian Group's higher-ups. How could a small follower like him bear this kind of responsibility? Ling Tian took the initiative to apologize to Qin Feng, and even apologize to Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming. He didn't dare to think too much, and just hoped that this matter would end quickly. Qin Feng, Lu Yunyun, and the others were all amused by Ling Tian. They even suspected that this person was a spy hidden in the Xian group. In the end, he was one of them. If Qin Feng had known earlier, he would have been more lenient. Song Changxing stood on the spot, and he was so angry that his teeth made cracking sounds. Ling Tian was now a member of the Xian group, and he publicly apologized to Qin Feng and the Huang group's team leader instructor. Wasn't this the same as the Xian group lowering their heads to the Huang group? "You bastard, get the hell away from me!" Song Changxing could not hold it in any longer and sent a kick towards Ling Tian. Rumble! With a loud sound, Song Changxing's stage 9 inner chi surged and collapsed. Ling Yun's body was like a kite with a broken string, directly flying out and smashing into the wall of the hall. This time, he couldn't even pull himself out. The Xian group wasn't made up of idiots like Ling Tian, otherwise, the Xian group would really be crippled. At this time, a white figure suddenly flashed and jumped out from the group behind Song Changxing. The man was wearing a white suit, even whiter than Qin Feng's suit. He had an imposing appearance, and he was staring coldly at Qin Feng. "Xiao Feng, right? My name is Yun Fan. You injured a member of my Xian group. This matter won't end so easily. I'll fight you." As Yun Fan's voice fell, his figure had already shot out. He slapped both of his palms together, and the air instantly emitted a violent wind-breaking sound. The Xian group's vice team leader Song Changxing was furious. Everyone in the Xian group could see that they were about to jump out and pressure the Huang group, but Yun Fan was one step faster. Qin Feng stood with his hands behind his back, and his expression didn't change. The moment Yun Fan made his move, everyone could see his strength. His inner chi was at the peak of stage 8 inner chi. Yun Fan was said to be one of the most outstanding people in the Xian group. His mission completion rate was as high as 80%, and he was also one of the best in the group. As long as he was given a few more years, it was only a matter of time before he stepped into the stage 9 inner chi that all martial artists yearned for. Even Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming were a little nervous when such an expert suddenly attacked. Yan Wu Xuan even cried out in alarm, reminding Qin Feng to be careful. Qin Feng's expression didn't change, and he didn't react to Yun Fan's approach. If it was the Qin Feng from 2 hours ago, he would definitely have a headache facing a peak stage 8 inner chi expert. At that time, Qin Feng was only a stage 7 inner chi expert, and he could at most fight a peak stage 8 inner chi expert. Moreover, the battle would be extremely fierce, and he wouldn't be able to defeat a stage 8 inner chi expert easily. However, 2 hours ago, Qin Feng had used the essence-gathering pill from Xiaoyao to break through to stage 8 inner chi. As a stage 8 inner chi expert, Qin Feng could easily defeat a stage 9 inner chi expert. Therefore, when he sensed that Song Changxing was a stage 9 inner chi expert, he didn't take him seriously. Yun Fan had already arrived beside Qin Feng, and his fist was less than 5 centimeters away from the tip of Qin Feng's nose. The hall fell into a deathly silence. The members of the Huang group and the Xian group had different expressions on their faces. Half of them were frightened, and the other half were gloating. Bang! That muffled sound finally spread out, and it was even more violent than expected. However, the scene was unexpected. Qin Feng stood in his original position without moving, while Yun Fan, who attacked like a ferocious tiger, was sent flying. When everyone could see his figure again, he was also stuck in the wall, landing beside Ling Tian. "What's going on? What did I miss? Why was Yun Fan sent flying? This doesn't make sense. Who is Xiao Feng? He defeated a stage 8 inner chi expert with one punch. Are you sure he's a new member of the Huang group?" All sorts of exclamations and discussions broke out in the surroundings. Everyone was stunned by Qin Feng's strength. If Xiao Feng could send a stage 8 inner chi expert flying with one punch, then he must be a stage 9 inner chi expert. How many stage 9 inner chi experts were there in China? Why did one appear out of nowhere? Moreover, this person was too young. Song Changxing was dumbfounded. He knew that Green Wolf was a stage 9 inner chi expert, but there was a very detailed division between stage 9 inner chi experts. Qin Feng's strength was much stronger than Song Changxing had expected. Song Changxing didn't dare to attack Qin Feng anymore. He could only stand there and swallow his anger. The black marble floor beneath his feet cracked under his feet. Lei Ming and Lu Yunhuan heaved a sigh of relief. They were glad that they had chosen the right path. If they had joined forces with Song Changxing to suppress Qin Feng, they might not have been able to defeat him. Qin Feng dared to attack people in the soaring cloud mansion. This was Zilong's territory, so they wouldn't believe that Qin Feng didn't have a powerful backer. Yan Wushuang finally relaxed. She gritted her teeth in anger. Chapter 686. Everyone was shocked when Qin Feng sent Yun Fan, a stage 8 energy expert, flying with one punch. Song Changxing's wrinkled face was as long as a donkey's face. However, he didn't dare to vent his anger because he couldn't figure out Xiao Feng's true strength. Song Changxing didn't dare to speak, and the members of the black group didn't even dare to let out a fart. They were glad that Yun Fan had taken the opportunity to show off. Ha! Vice Group Leader Song, how did your black group cultivate so many idiots? You didn't even say anything, and they're already jumping up and down. They don't respect you, the Vice Group Leader. Lei Ming came back to his senses and couldn't help but laugh. Lu Yunyun was also very excited. He added, Vice Group Leader Song, is there something wrong with the way you manage your subordinates? Just take it that our young hero Xiao Feng taught your two subordinates a lesson. Vice Group Leader Song, you don't need to thank us, we're all brothers. The two leaders of the Yellow Group mocked Song Changxing openly, and the members of the Yellow Group also laughed. They were usually suppressed by the Black Group. They threw all kinds of arduous and unrewarding missions to the Yellow Group like garbage. Sometimes, when the missions were completed, the rewards were taken by the Black Group. From the leaders to the members of the Yellow Group, they had long been unhappy with the Black Group. They had tolerated them for so long, and today, Xiao Feng finally helped them vent their anger. The members of the Yellow Group couldn't help but laugh 3 times. The laughter stopped abruptly, and everyone's expression changed drastically. The hall was suddenly covered with a strange aura. That aura was surging and majestic, like thunder and lightning rolling over. Many people's inner chi was bound in an instant. If an enemy attacked them at this time, these people would not even have a chance to resist. Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming couldn't breathe under the pressure of this powerful aura. Yan Wushuang's face turned pale. Qin Feng, who stood in the center of the hall, also had a change of expression. He was too familiar with this aura. It was Zilong. Who dares to cause trouble in the soaring cloud mansion? You even injured 2 members of the Dragon Sex Black Group. You really don't know your place. A majestic voice came from the sky, but the speaker couldn't be seen. The people of the Dragon's Gate were frightened. They quickly looked around, feeling as though they were facing a great enemy. Qin Feng had already calmed down. This wasn't the first time he had met Zilong. This old man really liked to act pretentious. Every time he came out, he would make such a big scene and make himself very mysterious. Didn't he feel tired? Su Xiaotian clearly knew Xiao Feng, but he pretended not to know him. The last time Ouyang Feng beat Su Xiaotian up in the soaring cloud manner, it was a complete slap to his face. However, no one dared to spread this matter because everyone wanted to live a little longer. No one dared to spread Zilong's scandal. It was as if the matter of Zilong being beaten up did not happen at all. It did not cause any commotion, and none of the Dragon Sect members present knew about it. However, Su Xiaotian did not plan to let Xiao Feng off so easily. This celebration banquet should have been hosted by one of the Dragon Gate's superiors, but Zilong volunteered to host it. He wanted revenge. He was the purple dragon Su Xiaotian, one of the 9 dragons of China. He wanted to regain his dignity in the same place. He wanted to beat Xiao Feng up, rumble. Suddenly, a muffled sound came from the sky above the hall like a flash of thunder. This loud sound was accompanied by a dark shadow. The dark shadow was as fast as lightning. It fell from the sky and landed on the ground in an instant. The man wore a gray Taoist robe that fluttered in the wind. His old and dignified face was exposed in the air. He is Hua, China, Zilong. Rumble! Someone in the crowd exclaimed. Like a sudden clap of thunder, the crowd burst into an uproar. China's purple dragon, Su Xiaotian! It's really him! Woo! I finally saw one of the 9 dragons of China. I've been in the dragon sect for more than 10 years, and I finally saw one of them. The appearance of Zilong brought an unprecedented shock to the crowd. Even the scene when Song Changxing and Yan Wu Shuang arrived couldn't compare to 1/10 of the current chaos. The 9 dragons of Huaxia were all mysterious and rare. They were like dragons that only showed their heads but not their tails. They represented the 9 strongest experts of Huaxia. Any warrior that practiced martial arts in the secular world hoped to see the 9 dragons of Huaxia because everyone wanted to see how powerful the strongest experts of Huaxia were. Su Xiaotian seemed to enjoy the crowd's shock and excitement. He stood in front of Qiao Feng and didn't rush to speak. He let the crowd shout and shout like crazy. Although Su Xiaotian hadn't made his move yet, the vigorous momentum in the hall and Zilong's domineering entrance had subdued most of the people. The 9 dragons of China were indeed worthy of their reputation. Only with such strength could they be immortal in the world of acting tough. The moment Qin Feng saw Zilong, he knew Zilong was here to cause trouble for him. Since that was the case, Qin Feng didn't want to be courteous with Zilong anymore. He shouted impatiently. You old fart, will you die if you don't act tough? You always fly down from the 3rd floor. Be careful that you don't fall to your death. Qin Feng's words shattered everyone's hearts. Is there something wrong with this guy's brain? Even if Qiao Feng defeated Yun Fan and Ling Tian in a domineering manner, how dare he blaspheme Zilong? Everyone could already imagine Qiao Feng's miserable ending. Su Xiaotian's body trembled under his gray robe. He was so angry that he almost fell to the ground. Ouyang Feng was present at the Soaring Cloud Mansion, so Su Xiaotian had no choice but to swallow his anger. These days, Su Xiaotian had sent people to keep an eye on Ouyang Feng. He was sure that the old monster, Ouyang Feng, had left and wouldn't suddenly return. Without Ouyang Feng to back Qiao Feng up, Su Xiaotian wasn't afraid of Qiao Feng. You're courting death! Su Xiaotian didn't like Qin Feng for just a day or 2. Ever since he was beaten by Ouyang Feng, Zilong couldn't eat or sleep. Su Xiaotian didn't waste time talking nonsense. Suddenly, a withered old palm emerged from his gray robe. He was 5 to 6 meters away from Qin Feng, but the distance disappeared in an instant. In the blink of an eye, Su Xiaotian's palm was about to land on Qin Feng's chest. Rumble! When the palm landed, the air was filled with the sound of wind breaking. Unfortunately, Zilong's palm hit nothing but air. He actually hit nothing but air. The atmosphere instantly dropped to a freezing point. Everyone was waiting to see Zilong turn Qiao Feng into a bloody mist. Even if it wasn't that exaggerated, it should at least break all of Qiao Feng's ribs and collarbone. In the end, Zilong hit nothing but air? Was this the power of China's 9 dragons? This Zilong couldn't be a fake, could he? Su Xiaotian was dumbfounded. He even forgot to retract his palm. Su Xiaotian stared at his palm blankly. There was no one in front of him. Even if he didn't use his full strength, it was at least 80% of his strength. How could he hit nothing but air? Eh? Old man, are you playing Tai Chi? How could your palm touch me when it's so slow? If there's nothing else, go home and rest. We still need to hold a celebration party. There's a generation gap between us at your age. Why don't you go out and turn left to dance in the square? Qin Feng didn't know when he arrived at the row of dining cars. He rested one arm on the dining car and held a goblet in his other hand. He was leisurely savoring the high-end red wine. Su Xiaotian's lungs almost exploded from the sight of it. Whoosh! Su Xiaotian didn't waste any time. He suddenly disappeared into thin air. In the next second, Su Xiaotian reappeared beside the dining car Qin Feng was leaning against. He slammed his palm down, and the dining car fell to the ground. However, Qin Feng was no longer there. Qin Feng wore the blue-grade white cloud boots and activated the sacred azure battle armor. He had just broken through to stage 8 inner Qi, so his current speed was so fast that even he was afraid of it. Qin Feng sensed Zilong's inner Qi. It was so dense that it sent chills down his spine. He knew he wasn't Zilong's match. Fortunately, Qin Feng's speed was on par with Zilong's. He couldn't beat Zilong, but he could outrun him. Bang! Zilong slammed his palm again and reappeared more than 10 meters away. He missed again. Bang! 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 The sound of wind breaking in the hall didn't stop. Zilong and Qin Feng were playing a game of cat and mouse. Both of them were so fast that they only left afterimages in the eyes of the audience. Everyone couldn't pinpoint the two's positions at all, but from the sound of the wind breaking, everyone knew that Zilong had missed again. Missed again, missed again. Why was Zilong so fucking weak? He missed every time. Did he miss on purpose? The entire soaring cloud mansion fell into a very strange atmosphere. 5 minutes ago, China's purple dragon, Su Xiaotian, was high and mighty in everyone's heart. 5 minutes later, everyone questioned Zilong's strength. Did China's 9 dragons not enter the competition with their strength? Was there some shady deal involved? Everyone had different thoughts. Fortunately, Zilong couldn't read people's minds. Otherwise, he would have been pissed to death. Whoosh! A white light flashed. Qin Feng leaped into the air and landed on the wall. Yun Fan and Ling Tian were still stuck in the wall. Boom! Qin Feng's figure flashed, and Zilong's palm fell. This palm caused the marble on the wall to shatter, and Ling Tian and Yun Fan, who were trapped in the wall, were filled with fear. They could not escape even if they wanted to. Seeing Zilong's palm strike land on their bodies, the two of them began to vomit blood. Qin Feng flashed again and came to Song Changxing's side. Song Changxing's face suddenly changed. Just as he felt the danger, his body flew out half a second later. His whole body was stuck in the wall and couldn't fall. Zilong's eyes were red, and he even fell into a state of half-madness. His hands slapped back and forth, and the air was ringing nonstop. The people in the hall didn't dare to stand in the same place. They quickly found a safer place to hide. But even so, from time to time, someone was suddenly slapped out, and all of them were members of the Xian group. Some were hanging from the chandeliers on the ceiling, some were stuck in the ceiling, and some people flew out of the main door and landed directly on the busy street dozens of meters away. When they got up, they suddenly felt like they were teleported. Chapter 687. Roar. Suddenly, an angry roar sounded in the air, like a dragon's roar. Zilong chased after Qin Fen for more than 10 minutes, but in the end, he couldn't even touch a hair on Qin Fen's body. He was completely enraged, and his roar was like thunder, causing many people to kneel on the ground. Xiao Feng, I, Purple Dragon Su Xiaotian, hereby issue a death invitation in front of everyone from the Dragon Sect. 1 month later, we'll fight to the death at the top of the cliff. Bang! The roar was followed by another muffled sound. At some point, Zilong was standing in the middle of the hall. He seemed to have jumped down from the 3rd floor as the ground shook slightly when he landed. The marble under his feet quickly cracked around him, and a moment later, the entire hall, which was more than 1,000 square meters of marble, cracked. There was dead silence all around. Everyone was stunned by Zilong's words. Su Xiaotian was actually forced by Xiao Feng to issue a life and death invitation. The Dragon Gate's life and death invitation was very particular. The other party must accept the challenger's challenge without any reason. There were no rules in this kind of challenge, and the Dragon Gate was not responsible for any casualties. It was a battle of life and death. If a life and death invitation was powerful, then Zilong's was even more so. This was because China's 9 dragons' 5 tigers were not static. As long as someone challenged the 9 dragons' 5 tigers and defeated them, they could be promoted to become the new 9 dragons 5 tigers. However, this challenge could not be issued at any time. It would only be publicly changed once every 5 years. However, if one of the current 9 dragons or 5 tigers took the initiative to issue a challenge, then as long as the challenge defeated the challenger, they could take over the challenger's position at any time. In other words, if Qin Feng defeated Su Xiaotian in a month's time, the Purple Dragon of China would no longer be Su Xiaotian but Purple Dragon Xiao Feng. Purple Dragon Xiao Feng, how pleasing to the ears. The hall was filled with cries of surprise. This kind of opportunity was too difficult to come by. The name of China's 9 dragons was too resounding. As long as it was a Chinese martial artist, who wouldn't want to become one of the 5 tigers of the 9 dragons? If this kind of opportunity to be challenged fell into everyone's hands, even if they knew they couldn't beat Zilong, they would still risk their lives to try. However, Qin Fin did not understand the rules involved. He only felt that Zilong had issued the life and death invitation to kill him. You fool, why would I want to have a life and death battle with you? You're already so old. I think you can live for another 3 to 5 years at most. I'm still young and in my prime. I still have a lot of time to pick up girls. You can go and be jealous. Qin Feng's voice floated down from the 3rd floor. Everyone looked up with astonished expressions. They didn't know what Xiao Feng was thinking. Su Xiaotian's chest heaved violently. It wasn't because he was tired from chasing Qin Feng, but because he was angered by Qin Feng. I've already issued the death invitation, and all the members of the Dragon's Gate present can testify for me. If Xiao Feng doesn't fight me to the death in a month's time, I'll have the Dragon's Gate issue a wanted order to kill Xiao Feng. Su Xiaotian's voice was cold and filled with killing intent. As soon as he finished speaking, he disappeared from the hall. No one knew where he went. After Zilong left, the powerful aura in the hall also dissipated. Those who were hiding in the corners and under the tables finally heaved a sigh of relief. These people were the elites of the Dragon's Gate, China's super agents. Now they were all scared like mice. If this scene was seen by others, they'd definitely think they were dreaming. The hall was a mess because of Zilong's Song Changxing lost all his face. He hung on the wall for a while and finally fell down. Everyone's gaze towards Qin Feng changed. The yellow group members' eyes lit up, and their gazes were filled with worship and reverence. The black group members sneakily swept a few glances at Qin Feng, as if they were extremely afraid of Qin Feng. Vice Group Leader Song, are you okay? When Song Changxing landed, the members of the black group surrounded him. Song Changxing was slapped by Zilong, and his inner chi was messed up. He didn't expect the celebration banquet to turn out like this. If he knew it would be so embarrassing, he wouldn't have come. Wasn't it supposed to be a show-off? Let's go. Song Changxing stood up, glared at Xiao Feng, Lu Yunyun, and Lei Ming, and left in a huff. The members of the black group followed. These people used to look down on the members of the yellow group and look down on them. But now, they didn't even have the courage to raise their heads and look at the members of the yellow group. All of them ran out dejectedly. Awesome, this is so awesome. Big Brother Xiao Feng, you're the big brother of the yellow group from now on. We'll follow you. Big Brother Xiao Feng, what's your strength? Even Zilong couldn't hit you. Why didn't you attack just now? Only the members of the yellow group were left in the soaring cloud mansion. Everyone suddenly jumped up and screamed. The scene was even more lively than the New Year. Qin Feng was surrounded by everyone, and the members of the Huang group all started to flatter Qin Feng. Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming were directly ignored. The two of them were a bit unhappy, but they didn't dare to show it. The two of them were deeply intimidated by Xiao Feng's strength. Haha. Since everyone is willing to call me Big Brother, I'll definitely protect you from now on. Just now, someone asked me why I didn't attack Su Xiaotian. That's a good question. Su Xiaotian is already in his 60s, so how could I attack him? I've been adhering to the traditional virtues of respecting the old and loving the young since I was young. Otherwise, I could have knocked that old fart out with one palm. Qin Feng started to boast again. Yan Wushuang stood in a corner and couldn't help but laugh when she saw Qin Feng boasting without any preparation. That laugh was short-lived, but it was enough to topple a city. The members of the Yellow Group were even more impressed by Qiao Feng. In the whole of China, Qiao Feng was probably the only person who dared to call Zilong an old fart. Qin Feng accompanied everyone and bragged for a while, making the members of the Yellow Group dizzy. Now that only the members of the Yellow Group were left in the hall, everyone had no scruples and the atmosphere became lively. Although half of the dining cars were flipped over by Zilong, there were still many cars that were in good condition. The members of the Yellow Group didn't mind. They picked all kinds of food and red wine, tasted them, and boasted to flirt with girls. The atmosphere was very lively. Lu Yunyun and Lei Ming were gratified when they saw this scene. Big Brother Qiao, I'm Zhang Ye. I'll be following you from now on. I hope Big Brother Qiao can forgive me. A shifty-eyed man suddenly came up to Qin Feng and greeted him respectfully. Qin Feng glanced at the man. He was a stage 6 inner chi martial artist. Sure. As long as you follow me wholeheartedly, I promise I won't mistreat you. Now that Qin Feng wanted to complete the founder's mission, he needed to start gathering more people. This man called Zhang Ye seemed to be quite clever, so he could be trained. Don't worry, Big Brother Qiao. Since I, Zhang Ye, am following you, if I have any disloyalty in the future, I'll be struck by lightning. Zhang Ye's expression suddenly became serious. He even raised 3 fingers and swore. Qin Feng nodded his head in satisfaction. He threw a chi-strengthening pill to Zhang Ye and said, "This is a greeting gift. I'll look for you if I need anything in the future." Zhang Ye didn't think that Qiao Feng would really accept him as a follower. He looked at the gift from Big Brother Qiao and was so shocked that he almost fell to the ground. Fuck! Big Brother Qiao, did you give me the wrong thing? This is... Zhang Ye was so shocked that he couldn't even speak properly. Qin Feng didn't wait for him to finish and directly interrupted him. Don't be so shocked. It's not good to let others know. Keep this pill for yourself and find a good opportunity to break through to stage 7 inner chi. Zhang Ye still hadn't come back to his senses. He knew that he had followed the right person this time. Qiao Feng's strength was unfathomable, and he was so generous. This was a grade 4 chi strengthening pill. Not only was it priceless, but it was also in short supply. Many people couldn't buy it even if they had the money. This time, Zhang Ye was really determined to follow Qiao Feng until his death. It was as if he could already see the future where he would follow Big Brother Qiao and dominate the martial arts world. After giving the chi-strengthening pill, Qin Feng ran to find Yan Wushuang. Yan Wushuang didn't seem to like crowds and liveliness. Everyone gathered together and had fun. She sat in a corner alone with a bottle of red wine in her hand. Team Leader Yan, why don't you join us? Qin Feng came over with a bottle of red wine. You guys have fun. Don't worry about me. Yan Wushuang glanced at Qin Feng and didn't say much. Come, let's have a toast. Tonight's celebration party is prepared for both of us. Qin Feng raised his wine glass. Yan Wushuang clinked glasses with Qin Feng. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. By the way, Team Leader Yan, I've officially joined the Dragon Sect. From now on, you'll be in charge of me. If there's a mission, we can continue to work together. Qin Feng took the initiative to chat. Last time, Little Pig was struck by lightning. In a fit of anger, he gave Qin Feng the mission of flirting with his boss. Qin Feng was in trouble. Now, Qin Feng needed to work harder. Yan Wushuang's beautiful eyes lit up. When she heard that Qin Feng took the initiative to ask to be assigned to her team and continue working with her in the future, her heart was filled with warmth. In fact, it could be said that the William family's mission was all thanks to Qin Feng. Yan Wushuang didn't do much. She was basking in Qin Feng's light. Didn't you complain that I'm holding you back? Aren't you afraid now? Yan Wushuang was too embarrassed to agree directly. She put on a look as if she needed to think about it. I was a bit of a hindrance, but there are benefits to working with Group Leader Yan. I can continue to live in your villa. Who knows, maybe one night group leader Yan won't be able to endure the long nights. Then I'll have picked up a big bargain. Qin Feng didn't even stay serious for a minute before he started to become frivolous again. Go to hell! Yan Wuxuang stepped on Qin Feng under the table. Her delicate and pretty face blushed. No one knew whether it was because of the red wine or because she was really shy. At this moment, Yan Wuxuang was charming and sexy. Every move she made was seductive like a mature woman. Many members of the Huang group were stealing glances at Yan Wuxuang. When they saw that Qiao Feng had settled team leader Yan so quickly, they were once again impressed by Qiao Feng. Chapter 688. Qin Fen's expression changed slightly and became serious. Prince William disappeared? What's going on? Ever since Qin Fen had captured Prince William and learned about the William family's secret plan, he had not been concerned about this matter. Initially, he wanted to ask Yan Wuxuang about the progress of the ancient warrior ruins exploration after he was done. He did not expect Yan Wuxuang to suddenly release such shocking news. Yan Wuxuang sighed and continued. After Prince William was captured, the people of Dragon Gate interrogated him overnight, but he refused to say anything. They interrogated him until the third day, but there was still no progress. Finally, on the third night, Prince William mysteriously disappeared from the secret chamber. There was no trace of him, so we haven't found him yet. Qin Fen's expression became serious and said, Is it Professor Mike's doing? They haven't left China yet. Yan Wuxuang's eyes lit up. She looked at Qin Fen with admiration and said, You think the same as me. Only a level 5 spatial ability user, Mike, can rescue Prince William without leaving any traces. Have you told the Dragon Sect about this? How are they going to deal with it? Qin Fen still had a mission to stop the William family's plan. It seemed like this mission was very difficult. I've reported it to the Dragon Sect. As for how they are going to deal with it, it's not our concern. Furthermore, our mission this time is to catch the people from the William family who infiltrated China. We captured Prince William and found out the William family's plan behind the scenes. Prince William was rescued from the secret chamber, but this has nothing to do with us. You don't have to worry about this matter. I'm just telling you so that you can understand the latest developments. Yan Wuxuang did not have any feelings for the William family. She only came into contact with the William family to complete the Dragon Sect's mission. Now that she had completed her mission, she no longer cared about the family. Qin Fen pondered for a while. He had no idea how to stop the William family's mission, so he changed the topic. By the way, you guys keep talking about the Dragon Sect's peak. Who are they? What level are they? I haven't seen any of them yet. The information about the Dragon Sect's peak was an internal secret. Qin Fen had not officially joined the Dragon Sect, so Yan Wuxuang could not tell him much. Now she could tell him. Apart from the 9 dragons and 5 tigers, the Dragon Sect has 12 peaks. Although the 9 dragons and 5 tigers are members of the Dragon Sect, they only carry out missions and do not have any real authority. The ones who can truly control part of the authority are the 12 upper peaks. Qin Feng was slightly surprised. The Dragon Sect has 12 peaks? That's quite a lot. Yan Wuxuang nodded and continued. I've only met 3 of the 12 peak masters at 3 different banquets. I heard that the 12 peak masters are all at stage 9 inner chi, but they're not as powerful as the 9 dragons and 5 tigers. Qin Feng immediately thought of the difference between stage 9 inner chi. They were both stage 9 inner chi, but the difference was huge. Oh right, Captain Yan, do you know anything about stage 9 inner chi? Are there more subdivisions? Since the 12 upper peaks are all stage 9 inner chi, why can't they defeat the 9 dragons and 5 tigers? Yan Wuxuang furrowed her brows. She had been wondering about this for a long time, but no one knew the reason as she hadn't reached stage 9 inner chi. I don't know either. Unless you ask a stage 9 inner chi expert, I don't know many stage 9 inner chi experts. Even if I know them, I'm not familiar with them. They might not even tell me. Qin Feng thought that if Yan Wuxuang knew, he would ask her. Now that Yan Wushuang didn't know either, Qin Feng decided to ask Shimin Chuexue or Ouyang Feng when there was no one else around. Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang chatted for a while. Now, Qin Feng had a better understanding of the dragon sect of China. Although the dragon sect looked glamorous on the outside, its internal strife was very fierce. Just like the fight between the Huang group and the Xian group, it wasn't a rare thing. It happened every now and then in the dragon sect. The Heaven group and the Earth group also had conflicts from time to time. Even the 12 peak masters were constantly fighting against each other, let alone the 9 dragons and 5 tigers. They didn't like to meet each other, but once they did, there would always be a fight. After talking about business, Qin Feng started to tease Yan Wushuang again. Yan Wushuang was embarrassed and annoyed. Her pretty face was as red as a big apple. She kicked Qin Feng's leg under the table. Now that their legs were entangled, Yan Wushuang couldn't pull herself away even if she wanted to. You pervert! Let go of me now! Yan Wushuang glared at Qin Feng angrily. If it was any other man, Yan Wushuang would have fought him to the death. Qin Feng pulled Yan Wushuang's leg over and grabbed it. He didn't care if Yan Wushuang agreed or not. Qin Feng kept touching her. Team Leader Yan, you've been working hard recently. I'll give you a massage. Don't kick me, or I won't be able to hit you. Yan Wushuang was wearing a tight black suit. Her legs were long and straight. Qin Feng was very happy to massage them. Yan Wushuang was so angry that she gnashed her teeth. She wanted to stomp Qin Feng to death. TSK. Big brother Qiao Feng is really amazing. Not only is he good at martial arts, but he's also good at picking up girls. He just joined the Huang group today, and he already got the Grim Fairy, Team Leader Yan. Sigh. If only we had 1/10 of Big Brother Qiao's ability. Seeing Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang flirting in the corner, everyone shook their heads and sighed. They were full of envy. Yan Wushuang also noticed that everyone was looking at her. She was so anxious that she didn't know where to put her hands. However, no matter how much strength she exerted, she couldn't get away from Qin Feng's big hand. Because she struggled too hard, Qin Feng touched places that he shouldn't touch a few times. Qiao Feng, are you going to let go or not? Yan Wushuang was really angry. It wasn't because Qin Feng took advantage of her, but because the members of the Huang group were peeking at her. This made Yan Wushuang feel very uncomfortable. Team Leader Yan, don't be so angry. You know that I'm a miracle doctor. Let me give you a piece of advice as a doctor. If you're too angry, you'll suffer from insomnia and may even get constipation. Think about it, you're a beautiful young lady. If you sit on the toilet for a long time and can't take a shit, you'll stink after 3 to 5 days. What if you suddenly fart on the bus one day? To put it bluntly, Qin Feng didn't want to let go of Yan Wushuang because Yan Wushuang's jade-like legs felt very comfortable. Qin Feng started to make up all kinds of nonsense. Yan Wushuang couldn't bear listening to him anymore. Suddenly, a gust of qi burst out from her slender legs and sent Qin Feng flying with a kick. Ouch! Team Leader Yan, are you serious? It hurts so much! Qin Feng didn't expect Yan Wushuang to be serious. Yan Wushuang's inner qi at the peak of stage 7 burst out. Qin Feng didn't even have time to dodge and was sent flying backward. This kick was absolutely fatal. It stepped on Qin Feng's vital part. Qin Feng didn't guard against Yan Wushuang at all, so he fell to the ground with cold sweat. He was really injured. Big brother Qiao, are you okay? A few female members of the Huang group immediately ran to Qin Feng's side because of the commotion. Qin Feng was now a rising star in the dragon sect. Not only was he skilled, but he also had a powerful backer. Otherwise, why would he dare to offend the purple dragon, Su Xiaotian? The female members of the Huang group had been eyeing Qin Feng for a long time. However, Qin Feng seemed to be interested in Yan Wushuang. They didn't want to fight with Team Leader Yan for a man. Now that Yan Wushuang kicked Qin Feng away, they saw the light of hope. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern, big sisters. Qin Feng was surrounded by beautiful women. These beautiful women were already dressed in sexy and revealing clothes. Now, they even crouched down to show off their fair skin. It was hard for Qin Feng not to look at them. Little brother Qiao Feng, you fell down. How can you be fine? Yeah? You made such a big noise when you landed on the ground. I was so scared. Handsome Qiao Feng, where are you hurt? Big sister will help you rub it. Qin Feng felt like he had suddenly fallen into a den of beauties. All sorts of fragrances floated in the air, and a few women fought fiercely in the dark, fighting to comfort Qin Feng. There were even a few women who deliberately stuck their thighs on Qin Feng, waiting for him to touch them. Qin Feng was tempted. He heard that the big sisters wanted to help him massage his wounds. He was hesitating whether he should tell them where he was hurt. Before Qin Feng could say anything, Yan Wushuang's cold voice came. Get out of the way. I have something to talk to Qiao Feng about. Yan Wushuang was the vice leader of the Huang group. She was also the strongest among the female members. Although the women were reluctant, they could only smile and run away. What are you pretending for? Quickly get up for this old lady. Yan Wushuang didn't know what was wrong with her. She was jealous when she saw the women surrounding Qin Feng. Qin Feng lay on the ground moaning as if he was not sick. He pretended to be pitiful and yelled, Group leader Yan, you were really ruthless. My lower body is crippled, you have to take responsibility. Qin Feng yelled very loudly. All the members in the hall heard him. However, they didn't believe that Qiao Feng was really crippled. The male members admired Qin Feng again. This was a godly skill for picking up girls. They thought that if they had a girl they liked in the future, they would also use this trick. Yan Wushuang liked to be alone. She was most afraid of being the center of attention. At this time, Yan Wushuang was embarrassed and angry. She lowered her voice and yelled at Qin Feng. Stop yelling and get up. Do you believe that I won't kick you again? Yan Wushuang's voice was very low. Only Qin Feng could hear it. Qin Feng immediately yelled in surprise. Ah? Team leader Yan, are you joking? You want to help me rub my wounds? Then you do it. Qin Feng spread his legs and got into a stance. Chapter 689. Yan Wushuang was infuriated by Qin Feng. She gnashed her teeth and glared at Qin Feng. Yan Wushuang could feel countless pairs of eyes staring at her. It made her feel like she was being peeped on, making her feel very uncomfortable. You, stop fooling around. Get up now, or I won't hold back anymore. Yan Wushuang said in a suppressed voice. Oh. Team leader Yan, there are too many people here. You want to go to a quiet place to have a massage? Fine, when shall we go? Qin Feng sensed that Yan Wushuang's aura was off. He believed that this woman would really attack him again. He quickly stood up and looked at Yan Wushuang with a smile. The crowd gasped again. Is team leader Yan going to lose her chastity tonight? Isn't this a little too careless? Yan Wushuang was so angry that her eyes turned red. Just as she was about to attack Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. He said coldly, What are you doing here, old man? Yan Wushuang's attack stopped, and so did the chatter in the hall. When everyone heard Qin Feng call him an old man, they knew that Zilong, Su Xiaotian, was here again. However, other than Qin Feng, no one else saw Su Xiaotian. Where was he? Qiao Feng, come with me! Su Xiaotian's voice came from the entrance of the soaring cloud mansion. He was dressed in a loose gray Taoist robe. His long hair was combed high and held in place with a jade hairpin. Su Xiaotian blended in with the night, looking a little illusory. Everyone was nervous when they saw him suddenly return to the soaring cloud mansion and asked Qin Feng to come with him. Old man, if you have something to say, say it here. Can't you see that I'm busy picking up girls? I don't have time to go dancing with you. Qin Feng knew Zilong hated him, so he would never go out alone with Zilong. Su Xiaotian was so angry that he almost vomited blood when he heard Qin Feng call him an old man. Su Xiaotian had already sent a death invitation to Qiao Feng, If he didn't have something to talk to Xiao Feng about, he wouldn't have come. The 12 peaks of the Dragon Gate asked me to bring you there. Come with me! Su Xiaotian lost his patience and stated his purpose. Not long ago, Qin Feng learned about the 12 peaks of the dragon sect from Yan Wushuang. He didn't expect that the 12 peaks would want to see him so soon. The hall was in an uproar again. Everyone was stunned by this news. Be it the status or the degree of mystery of the 12 peaks of the Dragon Gate, they were not inferior to the 9 dragons and 5 tigers. Among the people present, there were not many who could see one of the 12 peaks. This time, the 12 peaks actually summoned Xiao Feng together. This big brother Xiao Feng was really arrogant. Qin Fen realized the gravity of the situation. He stopped bickering with Su Xiaotian and looked at Yan Wushuang. Yan Wushuang had already let go of her resentment towards Qin Fen. She looked at Qin Fen with a serious expression and said, Xiao Feng, since the 12 peaks are looking for you, you should go with Senior Zilong, Group Leader Yan. Do I really have to go? Qin Feng was a little worried. He was afraid that Zilong would attack him on the way there. But Yan Wushuang insisted. Just go, nothing will happen to you. You're the only one summoned by the 12 upper peaks. None of us have the right to accompany you. What Yan Wushuang said was the truth. She was worried about Qin Feng, but even if she wanted to go, she was not qualified. Since Yan Wushuang said so, Qin Fen walked towards the door. The members of the Huang group, including the 3 leaders, followed Qin Fen all the way out of the soaring cloud mansion. They didn't dare to follow Qin Fen and Zilong anymore, so they could only watch Qin Fen and Zilong leave. Zilong didn't say anything along the way. He kept his head down and walked forward. His footsteps seemed slow, but his speed was extremely fast. If Qin Fen wasn't wearing the white cloud boots, he would have been left behind by Zilong by now. Old fart, where are you taking me? Don't tell me you're going to a secluded alley? Let me tell you in advance, I'm not gay. Plus, you're too old. Qin Fen had been walking for more than half an hour. He was more or less nervous because the surroundings were becoming more and more desolate. Coupled with the chilly wind at night, Qin Fen was panicking. Zilong's face was darker than the night. He was so angry that his chest heaved up and down. Suddenly, he stopped and glared at Qin Fen. Brat, you can continue to show off. You only have a month to live anyway. What else can you do besides having a glib tongue? After a month, I'll definitely slap you off Broken Cliff Mountain and crush you to pieces. Qin Fen looked at Zilong with a smile and said, You old man, stop dreaming. I didn't agree to fight you. After a month, you can go to Broken Cliff Mountain to meet a ghost. Qin Fen didn't know the meaning of the Dragon Gate's life and death invitation, so he was very proud of himself. Su Xiaotian was slightly stunned, then he suddenly looked up to the sky and laughed. Ha! Xiao Feng, are you really stupid or are you pretending to be? Do you think the Dragon Gate's life and death invitation is a game? As long as you join the Dragon Gate, you have to fight once you receive the life and death invitation. If you don't show up 1 month later, I can ask the Dragon Gate to issue a wanted order. At that time, the Dragon Gate will kill you without me doing anything. After listening to Su Xiaotian's words, Qin Fen instantly felt that something was wrong. He didn't expect the Dragon Gate to have such a tyrannical rule. One side issued the life and death invitation, and the other side had to accept it. It was simply too overbearing. Qin Fen still had a mission to defeat Azure Dragon and Feng Qingyu in the system. However, the mission had a time limit of 3 months. Qin Fen was confident that he could break through to Stage 9 Inner Qi within 3 months with the help of the system. By then, it wouldn't be difficult for him to fight Azure Dragon. However, Su Xiaotian's life and death invitation was in a month's time. Seeing that Qin Fen suddenly stopped talking, Su Xiaotian thought that he scared Qin Fen, so he laughed even more complacently. Ha ha! Xiao Feng, you should have thought that you would end up like this since the beginning, since you dared to offend me. The 9 dragons of China are as majestic as a real dragon. Anyone who dares to offend me will be killed. Su Xiaotian's tone was as cold as a knife. Qin Fen had already regained his senses. Oh? Did you misunderstand? I'm not afraid. I'm just a little regretful. Why didn't you set the life and death invitation to half a month later? If you did, you would have lost half a month of your life. Since the life and death invitation could not be changed, Qin Fen might as well be a little more forceful. Wasn't it just Zilong of China? If he still couldn't defeat him in a month's time, he could just let Ouyang Feng out and beat him up. Su Xiaotian's laughter stopped abruptly. He was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Su Xiaotian finally realized that he was no match for Qiao Feng in terms of verbal skills. Su Xiaotian became smarter and continued to walk with his head lowered. He didn't want to say another word to Qin Fen. After walking for an unknown amount of time, Qin Fen realized that they had arrived at the Martial Art Alliance's base. The soaring cloud mansion was more than 20 kilometers away from the Martial Art Alliance's base. If Qin Fen had known that this would happen, he would have come here by force. This Zilong must be crazy. Why did he have to walk here in such a pretentious manner to show off his old age? Qin Fen grumbled and complained about Su Xiaotian. Su Xiaotian heard everything and was so angry that he almost went berserk. After the two entered the Martial Art Alliance, they arrived at Martial Artist Town and finally the Dragon Sex Base. Qin Fen and Yan Wuxuan had been here once before. Entering the Dragon Sex Base again, Qin Fen didn't feel unfamiliar. It was already late at night, and there were 4 Stage 6 energy guards standing at the entrance. Senior Purple Dragon! When the 4 guards saw Su Xiaotian enter, they jumped in fright and hastily saluted him. Su Xiaotian ignored the guards and walked inside angrily. Finally, Zilong stopped in front of a tall and majestic palace-like building. The 12 peaks are inside. Go in by yourself. As soon as Su Xiaotian's voice fell, a gust of wind blew and he disappeared into the boundless night. Qin Fen grumbled a few more times at Su Xiaotian before looking at the building in front of him. It was a majestic and magnificent 2-story building. The exterior was built with red tiles, giving off the vibe of an ancient palace. Qin Fen walked to the door and pushed it open. The door creaked with an aged feeling. Under the cold moonlight and cold wind, it looked very eerie. You're here! There was no light in the room, and the cold moonlight shone into the room. Qin Fen could vaguely see that it was a large empty room without any electrical appliances. There were 12 people sitting around the room, and they exuded a powerful and majestic aura. Qin Fen didn't need to think too much to know that they were the 12 peaks of the Dragon Sect. Qiao Feng, the new member of the Dragon Sect Swan Group, greets the 12 peaks. Qin Fen didn't dare to act rashly in front of these 12 old monsters. They were 12 Stage 9 energy experts, and if Qin Fen provoked them, they would fight to the death even if he released Ximen Chui Shui and Ouyang Feng at the same time. Very well, you're the one we're looking for. An old voice sounded in the room, and Qin Fen couldn't tell who was speaking. There was no light in the room except for the dim moonlight. The 12 peaks were wearing black robes and black hats, so Qin Fen couldn't see their faces at all. Qiao Feng, don't be nervous. We're looking for you because we want to ask you something. Another voice sounded, but it was obvious that it was a different person. What do the 12 peaks want to ask? If I, Qiao Feng, know, I'll tell you, Qin Fen said to the air. I heard that you defeated Zilong at the Soaring Cloud Mansion not long ago. Another voice sounded. Senior Zilong is a Stage 9 energy expert, and I've just broken through to Stage 8 energy. How could I be a match for Senior Zilong? I think the 12 peaks made a mistake. Qin Fen called Zilong an old bastard, and now he called him Senior Zilong in front of the 12 peaks. If Zilong heard this, would he be happy or angry? You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.